them in their tracks. It's time
Let's
for
hope this
game one
works.
of EG versus Empire. Evil Geniuses versus Team Empire. Game one. Team Empire snatching Earthshaker right out the gate, and EG answering almost immediately with Sand King and Mirana.
This is like Dota from, I don't know, 8 years ago? Isn't this what people were thinking back then? I feel like this is like Dota.
Hi, Cat. Tell me the stories of ancient Dota.
Dota 1, I mean, this is all people played. You know, it was like Sand King, Potom, Shaker, and then probably some Lina or Lesh.
Lina, Lesh, Sven.
Yeah, I mean, at one point you could, like Blink Dagger wouldn't get disabled, right? And so all the heroes that have Blink, you could just Blink out of stuff. Shaker AA, that seems reminiscent of some TI5 days, but that's supposed to be EG though.
Tomato, can you give us a brief summary of EG's playstyle? You play a lot of these guys in pubs and against them?
I've streamed against them. They play some high-level Dota. I think like they're top 3 skill team in this tournament. They have the same issue as all the high skill teams, where they try to do too much stuff, and they end up losing the games themselves. It happened in game 1 against who they play Newbie. They tried like some Naga combos, and that ended up losing the game. You just could play Calm and win their game.
Oh yeah, I remember the exact moment you were talking about, where they slept the entire newbie team in mid lane, and then engaged a little needlessly, got silenced in an enormous Disruptor ultimate. Lost most of their roster.
So they're too next level for their own good.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of funny how, as you get good at a game, it's just as important to stop doing things as it is to learn to do things. Sometimes it's all about just getting small edges.
You see here, EG's opening is something that we talked about a little bit earlier, is that EG like going for these heroes that can go to multiple lanes and have kind of multiple positions, so it becomes a little bit harder to read them. Right now they have both, like, they have Potom and Sand King, and they can be played in different positions, both of them, so it's kind of hard for Empire right now to predict what EG are going to do, and I think, to me it looks like EG are kind of just fishing for information. They're taking 2 heroes that they really like playing, and they're kind of just waiting for Empire to reveal what direction they're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, Mirana, Universe and Sumaya both have played Mirana in this tournament.
I think Artura has also played it at some point.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure if they have, I don't know if they have played ever Sacred and Potom, but they used to.
They have.
Yeah, they might have, so they can play it in almost all positions.
I mean, with this sort of unpredictability, do you just make an even more focused draft if you're Empire, or do you also equally try to carefully judge what they're doing and play against it?
You can't counter BKG. Like, it's too hard. I stream against them, and they just pick like random heroes, and they change the whole lanes all of a sudden in the last pick. So, and I don't think Empire does that. I think Empire plays around like Resolution. They get him anti-mage, Morphin Lich middle. They just play like solid standard Dota.
Oh, okay, one more.
So if you were playing against EG, what would your plan be right now?
Well, I think Empire doesn't care. They're just one of those teams that they just won a nice lane for Resolution, and he's gonna carry. That's how they've won every game so far. I won against them, and our plan was just make Resolution play Necro. And I won because of like, he couldn't carry Necro.
So give Resolution, if you're EG, force Resolution into a hero which you can't carry the game with.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, what are the big, scary heroes that you never want to see on Resolution?
I think Lich Morphling middle is super strong right now.
Oh, that's right, yeah. His Morphling and Anti-Mage have been very
You
successful.
do see Lich was first banned by EG. Lich Kunga, first banned by EG, so that option's no longer available for Team Empire.
This
Faceless Void banned from Evil Geniuses,
Obviously.
straight into Winter with him.
The Wyvern's pick's a little strange. It reminds me a little bit of the Razor pick that we saw today. It's like, it's good against some heroes, but it's not particularly good versus the heroes that they have right now.
Also, they picked it into AA. I'm not sure why that is. In general, from my experience at least, Wyvern is one of the heroes that you pick when your enemy has a lot of kind of physical damage.
A lot of
and
summons.
Yeah, a couple summons. You want to throw that ult out, maybe get a kill or save some people. But right now it looks like Empire's lineup consists of almost exclusively magic damage. But we'll see if maybe they have a plan with this Wyvern.
Empire's also been turning towards PL a little bit more for Resolution. I know you like that hero a lot, Tomato.
Dude, I love Phantom Lancer too.
It's a nice anti-mage game. Let's see Resolution anti-mage.
What makes Anti-Mage so good against this Evil Geniuses lineup?
Lack of lockdown mostly. They only have like one reliable stun. It's like Sankey stun.
Yeah.
Arrow doesn't count really.
I mean, I suppose you could encase Anti-Mage with Winter Wyvern and fire an arrow away. Technically that's a setup. Give them some free health though.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is one of those heroes that go... it matches up pretty well with the PL. I think if you want to pick that Anti-Mage, you would want to do it last pick, and unfortunately they don't have the last pick. So yeah, they're going to go for Sven, which is kind of straight up. I mean, it's pretty clear. Sven is one of those heroes that deals very well with the Phantom Lancer.
Oh yeah, the great cleave from Sven dealing area damage. Phantom Lancer summoning 1 billion Phantoms that die instantly. And even from Team Empire, just looking across the board, there's great AoE and some really nice team fight opportunities available to them.
I don't think you can really have too much though versus PL. I think some of the teams have been picking Timbersaw a lot also versus PL, which I think is pretty good here. Doesn't really care about Wyvern too much.
It seems like a bit of a tough kill game.
Yeah.
The Batrider, Sven, and Shaker are all heroes that are pretty good at dealing with this hero.
Shaker's like the main counter to PL. I'm surprised they pick PL team first picker Shaker.
I'm thinking that EG, I'm curious if they're gonna throw another core, like sort of a scaling hero out for Universe, or what they're going for. Another hero that we could see potentially is the Enigma, as there's no real good way of dealing with that Enigma BKB Black Hole for Empire, and it is a hero that Universe likes to play.
At this point, looking at the Evil Geniuses lineup, what do they need? They get the last pick. Obviously, they're going to be able to wait to see what Empire's last pick is, but what is Evil Geniuses really fundamentally lacking?
Let's see. What do I get?
I like Enigma like Pycat said. I think there's no counter like Empire can pick. He's gonna have a nice lane to be honest. So yeah, I think Enigma the pick. I think run-ups line up pretty well because like they have late game and deals Sven pretty well. It's like PL's not gonna deal with Sven, neither does Mirana. And then Enigma Black Hole and Midnight Pulse, yeah, it does pretty well.
In terms of final bans, Outworld Devourer,
Well,
and Enigma banned out. Nice read.
How do
I
people do
mean,
this?
we'd expect at
fast?
this point, it's pretty clear who's going to be playing who on Team Empire. For Evil Geniuses, Sumail on Mirana mid, Phantom Lancer Arteezy, and then Wyvern Sand King.
Well, see, that's where EG can kind of go multiple ways. I'm not saying that's... Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily that that's not what they're gonna do, but it's just that they have options. So basically, they get to see the last pick of Empire, and then they get to choose kind of which matchups do we want, which of our heroes match up the best against theirs. It looks like Empire are going to pick their mid hero last, unless this is an Earthshaker mid. Oh, pop.
Ember Spirit. Very explosive and damage. Can be a little fragile at times, but has an unbelievable ability to escape sticky situations.
Seems like a tough game for a PL to kind of carry in.
yeah.
You got this, Phantom Lancer, I believe in you. Don't listen to this Pycat guy that predicted Team Liquid's last game perfectly.
The question is if they have invested too much into countering this PL, because EG have a lot of, they have 4 other heroes, and if you, sometimes when you go all in too much on one hero trying to counter it, you forget a little bit about the others.
What? Damn. Did I miss it?
Last pick. Who are you thinking, Merlini?
Well, so the main role swap that we're talking about
I
was thinking
put this
Mirana.
down. I
The
didn't
question
like
is
that.
now whether they want the Mirana mid or whether they want it support.
Oh, this is hard.
Not particularly sure which one they would favor at the moment. I don't really see anything wrong with poor Mirana right now.
Yeah, Mirana versus Ember is pretty nice.
Now, as always, who the hell is playing who? Sumail mid Invoker, certainly Arteezy Phantom Lancer. Universe will be on the Mirana this game, which means Crit and Zai on Wyvern and Sand King. Of course, Team Empire, expected players on expected heroes. It's time for Game 1 of our final series of the day. Both teams face elimination. It's EG versus Empire. Take it away, casters.
Elimination games always bring in the biggest pressure. EG, no strangers to this. Team Empire,
Yeah, I created the
well,
block.
they are maybe a little bit more stranger to it, but Resolution, no strangers to the main stage here at TI, being in the grand final before, even though not a victor.
Yeah, he made a really big name for himself last year. So far, he's been really delivering in the tournament.
In a way, it's strange that when we talk about Team Empire, we put so much highlight on the player who's actually not in the team officially.
Yep.
So I would like to talk a little bit more about the other players. Like everyone keeps talking about this Resolution show, but you have to think about, okay, if you bring in a stand-in and you had a carry player like Chaffee who's very adept at a set of heroes. Resolution maybe has other heroes he shines on. You bring in this stand-in, it's oftentimes a better strategy for a team that brings in a new player to build around him and utilize the core that you already have in your team to give him a good game, rather than expect him to completely adapt to the team's playstyle. So I think it's very natural for Empire, when the stand-in is a carry player, that they try to set him up for success, especially when it's such a capable player as Resolution, who is mechanically regarded as one of the absolute best in his position. But that doesn't belittle any of his teammates. Like, Empire have held their own on all of their players, and we've seen standout performances from every player. Looking over to EG, they looked a bit shaky, I want to say, against Newbie. They had some moments of brilliance and just some moments of very unusual lack of coordination and bad play calls that we don't expect out of EG.
It's that moment when you wish that Universe video went just one extra TI further, so we could look back at they said oh, we want to get that loss against the EEC out of our head and just move on. And the same kind of thing may have had to happen. They were really leading in game 1 against Newbie, and then caught on their own shoelaces in the mid lane fight. Sean was bringing up that 15-minute Disruptor ultimate. It did so much work. You have to reset, think about it again, and try and start in a good foot. And a good way to do that is having Zai coming to contest the room. You're looking for the Fire Strike. It's going to go on to Resolution. Maposhka is here. Can't do much though. When Universe connects with the arrow, Resolution needs a life. Goes for a storm off with the sun. Surveil hits the money. Not only will he take room, but he'll take the first blood. And this is a dangerous thing. You do not feed a Surveil Invoker.
Invoker has had very varying results, I want to say, in this tournament. There's been some Invoker performances that really fell flat. In other games, he looked good, but on average, this hasn't been a great Invoker tournament, I would say. So
Did they just stop the timer?
Damn.
Damn.
Head start. You see Empire immediately trying to counteract it. Roger on the Shaper is just going to run in and be annoying to Surveil. Actually, Surveil needs to take care of his career.
That he does.
All good.
Roger was just hovering around. It's the vision, Crit as well as Zai. You talked about Invoker not having a great time in mid. They're waiting for Roger to initiate or walk underneath the Observer and Sentry. Already, the Sunstrike again on the money. Roger needs to be more damage. The Fissure connects on 2. He's into the trees. 3 HP. He drops down 2, but into the safety of the Tier 1 tower. The Earthshaker will survive, revealing the gank on the mid lane.
The thing is, when you're rotating 2 supports together like this for the first whole minute, they were waiting a long time in the tree line for Crit's Arctic Burn to be available again. This gave a lot of space in their lanes. If these kills fail, it gives a lot of space to Empire. You can already see that they're taking some advantage. Even with all this pressure they tried to put mid, the Ember Spirit is having a good time since he wasn't the one being gone on. Ghostig in the top lane. This is a good matchup for Phantom Lancer. You need to keep that in mind. This is a specific counter pick EG took because of that Mat Rider. Arteezy will be having a great time up here, and he needs to. It's not a good PL game apart from that, like the panel pointed out. So, important for EG to get the right start and the right position.
Needs the farm to offset the disadvantage and the abilities, but Ghostig's still going to get some good levels on top. So as long as Arteezy doesn't kill him off, then it's still going to be a win, but Arteezy is still going to be very willing to fight him underneath the tower. But only for this early point. You can watch the rotations around the bottom room, the 2-minute one. It's going to spawn top as a regeneration room, so both Roger as well as Crit have to back off. And it'll be Surveil to grab the regeneration rune. In fact, he doesn't even want it, denies it, doesn't want to waste the time.
Oh, well, maybe it would have cost him a CS in mid. It's 100 mana.
Yes. Spring Ray was under the tower, so yeah.
Gotta go for that. This new Alacrity, I actually haven't seen this animation yet. That's from the new Immortal that came out recently.
Bottom lane, Fissure, just trying to create some space. Even with Boots can't get close enough, he doesn't have that second level up just yet, just shy of it in fact. Same with Crit. So there's no bonus damage arriving from either Zai or Crit just yet. Now they do hit their level 2s, but Arctic Burn onto the cooldown.
Gonna need to wait a bit on that Smell. I don't think it's time just yet. They're looking, he could try to straight run down mid and see if he could do it.
And Zai's just chasing after Maposhka. He doesn't have any real help, but that Sunstrike, middle lane, it actually looks towards FN, Surveil. He was tossing up whether or not his bottom lane supports could set up for that Sunstrike or not, and couldn't. I'd have a crack at the Ember Spirit instead.
I actually wonder when okay, so this is a little bit of not very chronologically thinking right now, but if you look back on the draft, this Ember Spirit pick from Empire made EG really think before they picked this Invoker. I think this Ember pick might have even been what EG wanted for themselves, or Sumail mid lane. Could have been a very interesting pick for them. It's a hero we've seen Sumail play in a lot of high stakes matches, and I think it would have rounded up their lineup pretty nicely. If they're bottom, yeah, that's I believe this one.
Universe doesn't care about the rock walls. He still's got the extra arrow. Nice hit into Mapochka. Do they have the damage required? One more hit and the hit from Universe. It will connect in EG. They are patient on the off lane. The Team Empire is support so far, which have had a bit of a problem. Not really getting what they want, but at the same time, Crit as well as I committing a hell of a lot to achieve. These just 2 kills so far for EG.
And it seems the game plan from EG as well is, let's try to contest resolution a bit. They made that first rotation, that wasn't successful. Since then they've kind of played this, it's almost been a hard trialing bottom. I want to say pseudo-trial because they're still moving around, but they are definitely committing a lot of resources. We saw this being very successful in the game yesterday between DC and IG Vitality, the elimination game where Paparazzi Sven got countered super hard in the safe lane. So I was thinking about it.
He needs the illusion. He'll need the illusions to tank the tower if he wants to dive under that.
Destroy the barracks, then get back.
The other issue too is the fact that Sumail still needs a little bit more mana regeneration. He's not having that Sunstrike exactly ready, so he needs to invoke it up and there's not mana to cast it. But he's getting back up bit by bit.
Oh, stun on bottom, they're going to connect the arrow, Roger's in trouble.
And nowhere to really escape from that one. Good setup stun into Universe's follow. And there's not much resolution you can do to save him, even if you want a Warcry. It's still got a good mix of magical damage and the physical. Zai now making his way down. He's got stick charges, but that won't be enough to get into the mana to get the Fire Strike off, so they're just more posturing against resolution, keeping him out of this game.
And now that EG has made it very clear what the game plan is for them contesting this bottom lane, the question is what's the counterplay from Empire? We're going to see this replay right here of that kill. Stun into arrow. As Pycat said, 8-year-old play. And that's not in the age of the players. It's not, I guess technically 8-year-olds can also pull that off. It's not that hard thing. It's not an arrow, but you know, it's an old thing from Dota history. This combination of heroes has been played for a very long time and still works.
And it
Old
does.
tricks. So the question is, what I was going to say is, what are Empire going to do? Are they going to sap resolution a little bit, look to apply pressure elsewhere? Are they going to double down on this bottom lane and try to bring over maybe the Ember Spirit, who has hit the level 6, he's ready to make his first rotations now. A great amount of burst damage can come out from him against these heroes in the bottom lane. They're not being put on resolution.
Warcry and the Splinter Blast, that is level 2 from Crit, so he's prioritizing the chip range damage. But it's a good question. Sacking resolution, we've seen Spence have
Zai has a
a
haste.
real issue if they try and fight from behind. So Zai might have that haste, but FN in the neighborhood, the Dire Observe ward hasn't seen him yet. He's been behind the trees, now reveals himself in the lane. And Defensive Spirit also available. Sumail stands his ground. Damn, he does a lot of damage. That's plus 113. Has the Spirit away, FN. Zai not able to get there at the right time to help out Sumail, but Sumail really showcasing that 200 damage physical.
And you need to keep in mind when you're playing against Invoker as Ember Spirit that he can always remove the flank guard with the tornado. So Sumail will very easily be able to allow his team more than anything to kill off the Ember later on in the game. We've already seen him. I want to say this is fairly unusual that Invoker only has 1 Inquisitor and 2 X. Sword Zai is going to be dangerously close here.
Walked right over the top of the Radiant Observer with Bar Strikes down. The Spirit committal is there from FN. He really wanted that kill. Needed something to make this mid lane better for him as he was falling behind the net worth of the Invoker.
That was very nice from him. And he dodged the tornado as well with that activate fire, and then he jumped across the tornado into the kill and gets out afterwards. And you're right. This mid lane's going great for Sumail. I've seen this before. He's one of the absolutely best mechanical players in this lane. If the matchup is even or even favors him, then he will most of the time come out ahead, even with a bit of contesting from Empire. It didn't really do as much as they were hoping.
Yeah, they needed to contest more. We've seen teams actually commit like tri-lanes to mid to try and stop Sumail from doing what he's doing.
It's 22 to 9, 23 to the 1 of FN. That's a 1.5 level difference.
Spirit committal, Ghostix rotating off the top lane, Lasso is up. It's a level 2 Sand King. At the same time, it's a level 2 Sand King. You're not really getting much out of Zai. You're 8 minutes in, and he's getting no levels.
That is one of the weaknesses of running an aggressive tri-lane like this, is if you don't get successful pulls off, your support's gonna go level. Yeah, they're thinking about it. Arrow's ready now.
Resolution's gonna let the Storm Bolt go.
This is
What's really
right,
got
this is
left?
right.
Lodge just moving his way up. Observer and Sentry giving the vision. On the other side of the tree lines, they know at least that Crit's by himself.
And right now this really feels like a game where Empire, where the lanes they must be feeling the pressure. They're actually losing their lanes really, really hard. The top 3 CS, by quite a margin, is on EG. They have a 3k gold lead, minute 8, without taking a tower and fight with a 1 kill. So this is raw lane farm that they're just winning on. And if they can just keep this pressure up, they're going to eventually scale into a very good position with their lineup later on in the game. Empire, on the other hand, kind of feels like they have to activate their Batrider to organize some good moves, as we talked about. Ember still playing catch-up.
Kosei's going to take some time before you can say he's activated. Still trying to go for drums before he gets anything else. Zai's going to get moved down to the bottom lane. So Zai, it just seems to be a bad day for SK. All 3 kills of Team Empire have been on Zai, the Sand King of EG.
I mean, sometimes I just wonder when they're using these chat lines if there actually is any history behind. It's like the teams that use these frequently are just using things that make no sense in the context almost every time.
We can point out
There's
that
something that makes sense out of it.
EG in game 1, Sunstrike, oh, barely could have clipped the ice. Instead now it's the Spirit of FN going forward. They need detection onto the Invoker sitting inside that Ghostwalker, just trying to burn him with AoE. They don't have mana on the Earthshaker for the moment. His totem just came back off cooldown. He's trying to look for him, but Samael's invisible. They have no idea that he is already back to the T1 tower. He's been so confident he held on to his 9-1 charges. Now he'll burn them as he goes back.
That's the classic first gank on Invoker where Invoker uses Ghostwalk. And you're like, why didn't we have detection? And then you have detection the rest of the game. Apparently we don't. They're actually not even playing it. Maybe they can't really afford it. So the support duo of Empire is really poor. The Shaker is very far away from Blink Dagger. It's 10 minutes in, granted, but it hasn't had so much success around the map, and AA is not doing very great.
Quick moment.
Mouse disconnected. So how does Mouse disconnect? You kind of pull it out.
Don't yank.
Yep. Well, it's a high stakes game, but you don't need to like move your mouse around that.
I've seen people destroy, throw it off the table. Games. Yeah.
Easily.
Oh, better to throw a mouse at the game. Bottom lane TP's coming in.
Oh, that's not a good lead.
Straight to the Firefly. The lead didn't go where Miranda wanted to. And it's all out of Resolution to get a big kill. It's been Zai dying the rest of the time. They have Moonlight Shadow available. The Common Grace makes it work a little bit harder for him, but with a watch here too. Crit trying to make a break for the tree line. The 7-6 charges. Don't know if they'll be enough to really get him out of this one. The Cold Feet will trigger, and they burn as well as freeze onto the Winter Wyvern. Empire getting what they want. They do lose their bottom tower, however. But they get 2 kills in return.
That's a fairly even trade overall. It was a support and an offlaner that died for EG, and Empire rotated down 4 heroes to try to take that fight. If they would have held their tower as well, it would have been a very good move for Empire, but as it stands, they're still just getting out farmed a lot. And now, EG are like, okay, we have a level 3 Sand King minute 11, he needs a lane, so Zai is going to be a bit quiet for the next couple minutes in that top area, going to work toward his level 6 and 7, and get some progress toward that Blink Dagger.
It's a good time to do it as well. You realize Team Empire is around the 11-minute mark, but there should be at least some trip, if not quad stacks of agents for Resolution to go off and pump, and that's what he's farming up right now. So the rest of the EG supports actually had to help Resolution at this point. He hasn't had the greatest start. The fissure block off, maybe not exactly what they were looking for, and they've already burned the shrine. Now EG have no idea what's going on because they've got no vision on the other side of the map, but they should have enough damage to get through it. And again, maybe they don't. Resolution was trying to save God's Strength, I believe, to go for the second camp, and that's actually where they're moving their attention now, leaving the Granite Golem behind as well as the Thunder Lizard, who seems to be not wanting to stay at base. He's actually sitting outside of the area.
What's the other one?
What else have we got coming out? So AA is almost level 6. It's a very integral part of the Empire lineup, being able to counter them to Wyvern. The panel pointed out very strange, in a way that EG chose to pick Wyvern in this game into the heroes that Empire were showing at the time. With this Ice Blast, they can very easily set up kills that... Ember is one of those heroes where you're usually in a situation where you're just a little bit of extra to get that core kill. Most of the time you can solo supports, but cores will get away with like 200-300 HP. You can combine those level 4 chains into an Ice Blast, and all of a sudden this Ember feels like he can kill almost any hero on the map.
Resolution's finally taking his stack at the moment, and well, the Ember wants to be involved in the kill. That's moved pretty quickly, and also finds some regeneration. It's the 3-man smoke up from Empire. They're observable, watching Crit as well as Zubos come up the hill, but instead they want the bigger one. They want to kill off RTZ, and they're able to do so.
He died.
Ice Blast and Echo Slam, something AG was specialist at. And a previous TI.
Universe is going to get pushed here, double damage rune.
Nice for him to get. Keep that momentum going. That's now 3 kills for Universe for his 1 death. But it's coming at a cost. The fact that Sven is able to start playing catch-up, even with that, like his catch-up game has only brought him up to 4.4k in the net worth. It's nowhere near what you're looking at from EG. They're so far ahead on their calls of EG.
It's strange when you look at the CS numbers, and it feels like EG should be further ahead on net worth and experience than they are, but the game is still fairly even. It's a 1k experience lead. The 3,000 gold is definitely substantial, but this game is easily within reach for Team Empire if they set up any of their good team fights. Their lineup is incredible at fighting. One thing that neither lineup is particularly good at is pushing towers, and that could lead into this type of game where the important fights start happening minute 30. And if you have a farm Sven, you know how that often goes. Empire definitely have the tools later. Right now, EG is still in good control.
As both those heroes, it's like the first phase Ancient Apparition pickup. No Alchemist shenanigans like we saw earlier. It's pretty much just straight raw rock fighting. And in the late game, getting hit by that Ice Blast is dead to Evil Jesus. And there's a great setup in the form of the Earthshaker. You still need to see items. That Ice Blast is now flying its way down to the south. Ghosting has Blink, no lasso. It's got 8 seconds on cooldown for the moment, so the Ice Blast will connect Arteezy. Just going to doppelganger away. The Ice Blast chill effect will still remain on him, and FN. Here he comes, but just to defend the tower, which is very, very low. Ghosting, he needs the time, and now it's there. Blink Lasso, Crit is the primary choice. If they can see it, Arteezy's calling the fact the Batrider is missing. Right now, he's in lane clearance business.
I'm not sure if EG had that lasso perfectly timed or not, but that 5 seconds made a very big difference. If Ghosting had the lasso, they would have definitely pounced on that PL, trying to get a kill. Now instead it's going to be EG making the smoke rotation. They have a ward that sees the movement trajectory of 2 of Empire heroes connecting with that mid lane, and if they can get a good backstab here, they can set up for a very nice team fight for themselves.
Backstab,
Roger's going to break it though.
What was
already
that?
broken. There goes your
26,
curse out.
27 minutes.
The arrow's going to connect. Sunstrike as well. Roger, no way to survive it when EG commits so many abilities. But now it's up to Team Empire. They want to try and turn this fight around. Flamebreak pushing Crit away from the Ice Blast. He still wants to hold his ground. But that will mean he'll die to FN. So a 1-for-1 trade-off, support for support.
I think Empire is fine for that. It sucks losing your Shaker who's making progress with the Blink Dagger, but if that's what Smoke is going to bring with it, that's alright for them. At the same time, EG keeping the farm up, Sumail is getting really, really farmed this game. Yes, almost 10 CS per minute, 16 minutes in on Invoker. His Aghanim Scepter is only 400 gold away, and as much as I said that a hero like Sven can take over a game in the later portions of the mid game, Invoker is one of those really dangerous heroes when he starts getting this amount of farm. I think widely regarded as one of the absolute best late game heroes in Dota, and the only real way you deal with Invoker later on is either by having massive catch for him and actually first, or
Blink Lasso, there's your catch. Being put to use.
He died again.
King will fall, and Team Empire, yeah, what are we going to make that? That's now 4 deaths. He's got his fantasy team a little bit wrong. You don't get plus points for deaths as supports.
It's not easy being punching back.
It really isn't, Syndrome. Resolution's coming towards the mid-ring, the Master Madness and Claw Strength are coming both to bring you down the Tier 1 tower. There's no fortification for EG anymore. So Resolution happy to grab the tower, back off. And all these kills, all these initiations the Team Empire have been looking for have been happening without Resolution. You've always been in the jungle farming and come to the last moment just to take a little bit of the glory and the money.
And he's building a very farm-intensive build here. He's going for both the Mask of Madness and the Echo Saber. This should make him the fastest farming hero on the map. It will have a higher pace than Invoker, even with his Aghanims, I believe, if they're just both free farming.
He's definitely moving faster than Arteezy. Like Arteezy after that kill on bottom lane, kind of slowed down a little bit with his progression.
It's just the nature of Phantom Lancer when you go for this build. If you want to really farm fast with Phantom Lancer, I think the first item you go for Boots of Travel. I think overall it is faster than the Diffusal build-up. Either that or you get a Yasha. But Arteezy is going for the hybrid build that can also fight if it comes to that if necessary. And I think this is a better approach when you're playing against a counter core. If this was a great Phantom Lancer game, you could go for the farm build and be like, okay, if I get farmed, I'm going to carry my team. But Arteezy is in this position where it's like, if I get farmed, that's great. But if they do as well, I'm kind of still going to struggle to play my hero against the Shaker, Sven, and Ember.
Gang's coming towards mid. Adfan is the man. He's got a target painted on his back. Sumail, Crit, and Universe will try and team up together.
They want to curse
And
him
they're going to start with a curse. This will actually line up for the arrow, which is able to connect. Sunstruck coming in too. SK can die in the meantime, but that's something we're all used to. And then dying, however, that is his first death of the game.
And that's going to be a tower as well for EG. They get the tier 1 mid. Empire are trying to get as much trade on top as possible, but they're eventually going to have to back off here and don't have enough in their tank to really stay here. So that's a good move for EG. That's way better than the smoke they did beforehand, because this one brings an objective with it.
They get two of them. They move to bottom lane. The damage they did previously at this tier 2 town when the Batriders looking for a kill. They now finish the job. He's not even leaving the real self behind lane. The illusions do the job. That's why they get the last hit in the town.
Something I'm curious to see in this game is what route FN takes with his Ember Spirit. So he's gone for the travels first, and now it looks like he's going for a Linken's. I guess he's tired of getting cursed after one curse. But is this a physical damage Ember game or a magic damage Ember game is the question. If you get physical damage, you can cleave and kill off the PL illusions very easily, but you already have Sven for that, and then you're fighting with physical damage into the Wyvern Polar Race. If you go the magic build, well, maybe it's too late for that, and you already have that in space. And there we see the kill on Zydo. We see earlier, pretty straightforward. Lasso into Sandwich.
Yeah. Perfect combination. The Maelstrom does make enough sense though. We were debating this during another game previously. Oh, that's Ice Blast Zai. Again, 0 for 6 at this rate. We're going to have a contender for the Malk Award. He does have the Moonlight Shadow back out. He is affected by the dust.
He is alive.
He will survive.
It's close. One more tick from Flame Break. Or just another second until I go for the kill, but he didn't dare to pursue there with Zai stunning off to the side. Blink Dagger might not be ready either. So they save him this time. Zai's like, finally I get to walk out on the map for 2 consecutive minutes
Right.
with kills.
We may have a Wyvern Sandwich at the moment, putting down the Vortex as well as the Cold Feet. Prince got the movement speed, takes to the end of the Arctic Burn. Spirit forward, you're going to get that Silent Fist steering chain into the Ice Blast over to Wyvern. Well, he can't take the chill or the burn. And it's the burn that kills him.
That's something you need to be very careful with against Empire's lineup. They are very mobile. Both Batrider and this Ember Spirit can punish out of position heroes very quickly, and it doesn't really matter who it is. Even this Phantom Lancer where you're like, oh, against Batrider, maybe I can doppelganger off. If you get lassoed and you get doppelganger off, the heroes will still run you down. Like, Emperor doesn't care if you doppelganger away. He's just gonna run after you at twice your pace. So you gotta be careful with how and where they show their heroes. At least it was only support that time, but you might Arteezy now with this Flaming Lasso 5-second cooldown.
It's the Blink Echo Slam. That could be your easiest start. Give the extra vision. Arteezy just walks into the Ice Blast committed. Nothing is left to chance here from Team Empire. And Ghosty, he even knew that was such a kill. He was looking for the second one. He was looking for any friends Arteezy had, but Arteezy had no friends on that bottom lane. And now it's EG looking for revenge instead for their fallen teammate.
Trying to make it down here in time to kill Rezo, but I think Rezo is going to get this in time and back off. If he's greedy here and goes for that last hit, he's dead, but probably thinks...
Here comes Zai, looking to initiate. He does have that blink there.
Wait,
The
what?
Sunstrike is coming in, but the control is just not enough. Resolution already starting his TP. Ghostic also needs to get out. TP is off cooldown, and it looks like everyone from Team Empire, as long as Ghostic can escape from crit, he's under the vision of the Observer Ward. Where's that arrow from Universe? It'll come too late, because it's on cooldown for the moment, so Ghostic, forced up, 1 second, here comes the arrow from Universe, it'll connect, and Ghostic will fall. Universe will be the man finding the kill with the Maelstrom Proc.
Yeah, cooldown on force that there. He used it instantly to save the Sven
Oh,
earlier.
Maposhka. Arteezy looking for the solo kill. The Sunstrike from Samael. Easy setup. Made all possible by Arteezy.
Empire is still doing a good job of pushing these waves. Most of the heroes dying in this game are really supports. There's so many support deaths and so few core deaths so far. Arteezy, I think, has the most deaths out of any core with his 2, I believe.
And the only one who hasn't died so far is Samael, who's at 3-0-1. I think every single kill he's claimed is the one that's not in front of him. It's always been the Sunstrike range. Supports giving their life for their cause, but they're getting money back. The fact that Zai has managed to die 5 times and still picks up a Blink Dagger at a reasonable time. It's alright, it's great for him.
Given the circumstances, it's not too bad. I think he had it for a couple of minutes already, so he gets a sub-20 blink on Sand King with 5 deaths. That's respectable.
Yep. Doing it hard. Looking for the next smoke. They've got dust available, and it actually looks like Team Empire has 3 players walking on top that aggressive observer ward. Probably planted so they can track the farm rate of both Resolution as well as AirFan. They have to keep tabs on these 2 heroes. Especially this Sven. You do not want him getting in front. At the moment, the 10k net worth is pretty damn good for a Sven. Yep. The only downside is he's wanting to be number 1. You always want to have that number 1 net worth. Right now he's 2.6k behind the Invoker.
You reach this point now though when Invoker falls off a little bit in fights against the Sven in particular. The reason is there's a couple of key items being picked up. FN has got the Lincoln Sphere against a couple of things, including some. You can also
I
kind of play
missed
like the Force
that.
Invoker can be annoying,
I
and the Sven now with the BKB. So you look at the graphs and you look at this net worth, and then you're like, when this BKB of Sven is popped, the only counterplay that EG really have is Winter's Curse. So if this Wyvern gets locked down, Empire can look really scary. On the contrary, you know, if EG finds the right type of fight, or Sven even gets the BKB off, they still have the burst to bring him down. There's no real save on Empire's lineup except that force that.
Very smart read here from Evil Geniuses. There was no one defending the mid. There was no one actually saving the Team 1 tower on the top lane from Team Empire. They knew they were on the hunt. Universe is scanning the tree line with the arrow. There was a 5-man maneuver from Empire on the southern lane. That's the one they wanted. They couldn't find the opening. The posture of ghosting, even Firefly between the Tier 2 and Tier 3 tower, and they don't find their targets either. EG, successful dodge.
They got a good ward out though. Question is if EG know where this ward is. This is the kind of ward that can be very valuable when you have Ban Rider. You get deep vision into the enemy jungle, so you get to see movement patterns. And Ban Rider can obviously punish when heroes start running down toward the ancient area or farming with big camps here. Since he can fly over those cliffs,
Moonlight Shadow.
take them.
Chris going to get close enough for Resolution to get that curse off, especially as Resolution shows himself farming the wave. He has the BKB, the Green Wave's nearby, Zai moving in, Moonlight Shadow, they can just start with the basics done from Zai. Forest Strike it up, here comes your arrow, but the BKB from Resolution wants to stand and fight, or he tripped off that. Mask of Madness needs the movement speed away, and he blocked up by Roger, who gets that to innovate PL. Still, Trick going down on the sidelines, epicenter from Zai. The damage can now be put into the Sven. Ice Blast on the way in, it's going to connect with Artesian. Will he doppelgangers away? Resolution set up and off the end by Seville, blasted into deafness. That may not be done yet, Ghosting. They realize there's no sentry board nearby, and actually no, EG will be retreating. There's no way this 3-man team can get a revenge kill into EG quickly.
This is one of the things I love about Mirana as a pick. There's almost no teams playing this hero. I think only really EG seem to favor the hero this turn. Moonlight Shadow is such a good spell. When you have these limited supplies of smoke, the game can reach stages when it's very difficult to find picks. But the Mirana there, the key part of that kill is the Moonlight Shadow. That's how they got the jump in the first place on Resolution. Felt pretty safe because of the warding that they had in the area after that Batrider and AA invaded, but sneak in there with the invisibility and find the biggest kill of the game.
And that is
Every kill on Reso is huge.
Because this is separating it up, is allowing Invoker to be the stronger hero on the field. And you can see Smell making the space of it, like getting involved in the fight, BTing down to the bottom lane straight away, then letting the Forest Spirits kick in. And if no one comes to defend this, then again, more Empire's maneuvers are going to be flagged. And EG, very hard to catch them by surprise when all the lanes are so consistently being pressured.
Yeah.
I'm going to try anyway. A 3-man smoke down mid.
This is a good smoke in my opinion.
It's got
very
Seville.
hard. It's hard to read.
It's a Lincoln Sphere though. They have to blink in, use the force up, trigger off the Lincoln Sphere. Now they can keep the lasso on. Ice Blast will connect. They have to keep Samael there, and they're able to do so. Samael with 70 seconds on the sideline. Because he pulled up the full Lincoln Sphere. Even the fish are catching outside. A quick dusting. They don't want to hide anywhere. Bar strikes available to Zai. Now he gets it, but FN waiting with open blades behind the Tier 2 tower. Gives back-to-back kills for Team Empire.
Textbook smoke. They showed Resolution in the bottom lane. I think they showed it here in the top lane as well, and the remaining 3 heroes look for Samael. It's a kind of risky play because if EG read this movement and they're on backup behind Samael with defensive heroes, that could have turned into a great counterplay. But they make it hard for EG to at least read what's going on. EG have their vision in the top area of the map and therefore have no idea what was coming their way. That's a big play from Empire. 2 kills, one of them on Samael's Invoker. His first death, they get a Tier 2, and Rezo. He's not done yet.
Yeah, he's going to come up. He's still got a little bit more of that God-strike timing. At least force a reaction out from Evil Geniuses.
Kami's done.
Got it from the Arctic Burn. The spirits are actually bringing Crypt down to half of his life. But no one's TPing out to the shrine. They're all coming home.
200 damage on the Tier 4. Actually, it's something I've noticed about Resolution in this tournament is that he seems to have a very, very good understanding of how far he can go. And that's why it's very interesting for me to see him dying to this Moonlight Shadow, because that might be the one time in this game where he didn't really have the correct read on what's happening, because you need to be a bit deceitful to trick Resolution to catch him off guard. He's been having exceptional reads. The Spaceless Void game that we saw yesterday also just
Bottom.
Reads on Fred. He is
Bishop
dead.
and Blast and Roger Maposhka teaming up together beautifully. They played that very, very patiently. They just let the creep wave do its thing, and eventually Crypt just came out feeling maybe he had the safety, but there's no vision for them on the bottom lane at all. In fact, both of the Observer Lords from EG, one of them's about to time out on top of their jungle rune, and the other one sitting in front of where the T1 tower used to be of Empire. And they don't see enough from this to really let them know where Empire's moving. So maybe a new smoke ward vision coming up from EG shortly.
Could be. Or Moonlight Shadow. 45 seconds on that one. But look at the graphs, man. This is a change of pace. EG had this like good 5 minutes, and now they've had 5 bad minutes. Everything on that graph is green, and the experience is pulling the advantage of Empire already, and it's only a 1k gold lead now for EG. So Empire with a couple good moves to put themselves in a good position now. The question is, how do they transition? Looks like FN will be going for the magic build. He went for the Maelstrom first. I wonder if he wants to finish the Mjolnir after this Blade Dagger he has queued up, or has different plans later on. It's actually possible to do a hybrid build on Ember, where you have like this early magic damage and then transition into more physical-oriented line or damage later. Very curious to see what his idea is in this particular game.
Empire's got the primary concept of let's go kill them all if possible. Arteezy is the man who could get caught out. The Echo Slam reveals the real one. Six little to roll on. The arrow flies forth. Resolution soaks up with his BKB. Already Zion Arteezy have fallen, so there's no fight here for EG.
Empire are feeling it, man. That's 7 kills in a row. And another tower. Roshan is available. 40 seconds on the PL and the Sanking on 30. They don't get the critical high ground.
According to the game, that was a 5-man Echo Slam.
Yeah, that was Arteezy and a lot of Arteezys.
Yep, every other
the
line. He gets out of range of the Ice Blast. The arrow connect over on Roger. Meteorite still rolling towards him. So Roger starts to burn, getting hit by the tower. He won't be able to get out this one. Universe will kill him all. And Evil Genius at least get the consolation prize as Empire do more chip damage to another tier 3.
Very nice meteor from Sumail. He cast it far away from the Shaker, but anticipated that Shaker would be stuck long enough for the meteor to actually reach. It took like a full 2 seconds before Roger started taking damage from it, but then Cold Snap plus meteor combo under the tower will secure Sumail that kill. Empire maybe overextending a little bit there. They got another 300 damage in, but this time on a different tier 3 tower. The death of the Shaker. Seems like EG are confident to go for their next move. 4-man smoke, yeah, showing Arteezy top. And maybe this time they're hoping that Empire want to go for him again.
The line is drawn to move to the tier 2 tower. However, both of their observer wards they plan to down primarily looking at the front end of the Roshan pit. One of them probably won't survive as there's already a sentry ward there. But Team Empire, they read this. FN's got a lot of pressure on bottom. He's sending his illusions in with a catapult wave.
This
may force EG to come back as no one is here. So they leave it to Zai. Mr. 07 to do the work. Blinks in for the sandstorm at least. Forces FN to back out.
This is one of the benefits you have with having Ember Spirit in a game like this. There's not that great ways of EG for killing him. Especially, they always need at least 2 heroes to get the kill. Maybe even 3. So if he is pushing this wave bottom this far, it very quickly becomes obvious what kind of move EG is going for. Resolution was just hiding, waiting, until he started showing on the map again. Now he's back to farming this top area. Going for the Linkens, by the way, after Blink. You can't even curse him when he gets there. Sven is getting scary, Toby, and it's not only him. The Ember, as we talked about, has a good matchup. He's getting farmed too. He just kind of dropped the ball in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Haven't really accomplished much.
They've been trying, they've been looking for the opening, but they haven't had the vision to really achieve it. This is going to get harder. Ghost Digger's got the Jam of True Sight on him, purchased up by Maposhka, and they're looking for the warding as a
BKB too.
Yeah, he
That
does. Blink, BKB, and 4-star, so he can jump in, trigger the Lincolns on the Invoker, and still get out. And if he is that first initiator, you've still got the Lincoln Sphere, which can be given by either the Ember or potentially the Sven. You can double stack this on your front runner for Team Empire.
This should be
Right, is this?
He used
Okay, no, he walked over the top of an observer ward and didn't kill it. Goes back and then remembers himself.
EG need to keep an eye out for Roshan now. They need to have a feeling. This is the Radiant team that has good pushed out waves. They have God Strength. Should be able to kill Roshan pretty easily. The Sven can obviously solo it at this point.
I hate to tell you though, they can't keep an observer ward. When you've got a Batrider around there, they just lost their 2 new observer wards they planted, and Crit's only got 1 more left in his infantry at the moment. It's very difficult for EG to establish vision. And Sumail just walked underneath the observer ward. Grostic may believe, he's not close enough for him. He's feeling it, but can't get it.
Sumail playing it safer. It's gonna likely his
Force Spirits, and Resolution is going to munch them up very easily. Actually, it's going to lose quite a bit of mana here.
And you got to get rid of those PL illusions, making sure they don't just keep copying on him. So he has to turn and fight them.
They dealt a lot of damage because of that minus armor from the Forges.
Look at these observables as well. So good from Team Empire. Even if EG feels like they've found one of them, they're not going to get both. It's too much of commitment for the support set. Resolution's going to start up on Roshan. Meanwhile, FN attacking into the bottom. Zion Arteezy can't get the initiation off, so FN quickly back out again. The Sunstrike scouts at the fact that Roshan is being done. Resolution and Roger will be joined by FN inside the pit. Can EG get there in time? The Moonlight Shadow, they're trying to run forward. In comes Zion, goes for the Power Strike, does the target Resolution, killing them. Oh, no, snatched down by Zion. Resolution killing with a cleave. Now they want to get back out this one. Goes to win the BKB. Isolated in the middle of 5 heroes. Base created by Roger. Blinks out the side, blinks up, try and find him. They're trying to disengage. But Foster won't be so lucky. Arteezy is all over him like a hot rash, blocking in the corner with all the rest of the Arteezy 5-man team. And they may try now, EG, to gain something on the map for the first time in 20 minutes.
Split second decision there from Zai, just going for it. He blinks in, gets the stun. Actually, he didn't even stun the Sven. The Sven got the BKB up very quickly, but
I thought it was
Resolution. So this is one of those moments where having 6 slots at this point in time, Rezo wants to have all his items on him, because if the fight breaks out a little bit earlier, he needs all of his items available. But when Roche is about to drop, you want to swap an item, and we're going to see
Here
it
it is
right now.
again.
So Zai goes in, Rezo currently has 6 items.
it too.
He currently has 6 items in his inventory, so he can't pick it up. He has the stun on Zai, doesn't get the kill, and now Zai's already taken it. He swaps in the Mask of Madness to try and get it. Rezo's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those difficult moments because you need to move the mouse down there and move that item into your backpack, and it takes time, and Zai's just faster because he already prepared his slot.
The 0-7 SK that hits 0 stuns because the slot.
Oh, mid lane, we don't have time for that. Big kill!
Focused on the Ice Blast is flying in.
Does have buyback. But this should be forced maybe by Empire here.
Yep, they're coming. FN's already arrived. Defensive Spirit, they can start chipping away at the building.
Defending is not easy right now for EG without that Invoker. He is their primary defense. Of course, there's other spells that are annoying to deal with, such as Splinter Blast, Star Storm, PL Swarm. The thing is, if Empire don't want to push, this is at least a full minute of complete map control. They can push out all the waves, force EG to camp inside their base once again. These core picks are extremely important. Sumail has now died twice. It's been a long time since the last kill on him, but they're just as important every time.
And spacing it out, it's more and more money was Resolution who found it, so more cash coming away this betting, so need for a blood bond. As the BKBs get lower, they'll become more and more effective. At the moment, Sumail still holding his 10-second BKB. And you got another one on the way from Universe, so this is going to make it 2 BKBs. Obviously, the Phantom Lancer does not want to build into this. He was actually looking at the Guardi originally, but now he's switched his mind and is going for the Lincoln Sphere.
Honestly, I'm wondering if you want to get one.
Get out of there. The cold feet, the Ice Blast, it is just too much. FN jumps right on top of him, and Arteezy, he actually finishes the Roger! Hits the two-man, perfect hit! FN will now get a double kill, and EG retreat!
Oh no, Arteezy actually completed that TP. I can't believe he went in for that. Crit was already completely dead. The Invoker was still dead. There's no way Evil Geniuses are able to retaliate in this fight, and just this is a really greedy TP that gets immediately punished. Now Empire with 3 deaths. This time they're going to try to do some structural damage for sure.
They're coming for the bottom lane. The mid lane is going to push in. It may get close enough to turn off that backdoor regeneration, but now here comes Resolution. Beat the tower, arrow flies forward. He'll just walk to the side, already Lincoln Sphere being triggered on him. But they take the tier 3 tower, this will open up the shrines, and Empire are happy with that. They're not going to force the issue much further than FN chipping the mid tier 3 tower. But they're back, they got the objective, and they hold the lead. And let's actually see it from Arteezy, from the perspective here in the mid.
So Crit is already dead, and now Arteezy completes this TP, has to try and disengage, immediately caught out, and this is 2 nice kills. He even stacks up his eye. It's a bit reminiscent of EG's games against Newbie yesterday, where EG are off to a good start, their lanes are going well, and this later on in the mid game, it's just like things start falling apart. They're not finding the moves, they're making these key mistakes where they're out of position, and Empire are just pouncing on them with these very mobile and fast heroes that just kill them too quickly. And EG don't get a time to stabilize and establish themselves in a fight before it's over.
And this is more than crumbling. Like they've swung this net worth in the last 20 minutes by Well, I
15,000.
was going to, yeah, 15 grand. It goes up in the experience by almost 20,000. It's not a minor swing.
It really isn't. And it's at this point you start wondering for EG. Okay, the BKB on the Mirana is very close, as you mentioned. The BKB on Sumail is completed. Do you actually need to get a BKB on PL? You don't want to, but honestly, how is Arteezy going to play these fights? If he goes in, there's so many things he needs to worry about. If he gets a BKB, he can at least limit the options that Empire have. Okay, then they can't really target the Shaker anymore. The AA is not so scary. He can't get Sven stunned. He can't get messed with by the Ember Spirit who has magic damage build. You know, it's like, it sucks. You can still get lassoed and you can still get killed by Sven, but is it better or worse than the alternative, which is building a lot of stats and then you're countered by everything? Now there's even a Bloodthorn on this Sven of Resolution, so even more value in the BKB. He does have the Manta, of course, but if that's already used, now Sven can single-handedly just slam him in one stun.
He's 39 minutes in and already very happy with all 6 mana for his squad. Ghosting, very happy to find this pickup. It's Arteezy, the Ice Blast chilled in FN. Even adding a Spirit for good measure, but Arteezy down for 65 seconds. Buyback is available, but the bottom lane continues to remain under siege. And this is getting very, very difficult for EG.
This is the game you want to step up, you know, this is the game on the big stage, and Ghostic is maybe playing his best game of the tournament. His Batrider in this game has been outstanding. 5-1-11 has found so many openings, has been able to not only find the openings, but also assist Miposhka in the warding missions, where they've gotten the intel that they needed to make the kills successful later on. And EG just seems like a completely choked out team with no control of the map.
Here comes Resolution. That's actually Goldstrength being committed to kill off 2 Forge Spirits, but I think he realized he doesn't have a creep wave. So the Goldstrength still wearing off. Ghostic's looking for his opportunity. They put the Lincoln Sphere protection onto him, as now the run forward. Arrow almost caught by 3 players, but, well, they're matrixing kneeling that. Feeding in from melee racks. Where's this defense from Evil Genius? Somehow burns his BKB nice and early. Looking for the kill under Roger with a 4-star. Gets him out of range of the Sunstrike. And Evil Geniuses, for now, Empire will back out.
Great hold. They didn't expend Arteezy's buyback. They took a little bit of damage on the melee barracks, which are going to heal themselves up. The BKB was even expended by Sven there, so a little bit of a commitment from him to no avail. Oh, alright, Sumail also used his BKB, so you could call that a draw perhaps, but under the circumstances of getting 5 and 4 in their own base, EG are probably happy that they didn't end up having to lose either a buyback or a barracks.
It's the fact that Sumail takes his BKB to a 9-second while Resolution's burning his so much, he's already down to 5.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of immunity time for Sven just to stand his ground and hit, and that's what he wants to have happen. And looking at his next item build, I'm assuming this is going to be the Resolution special, where he's like, you know what, I've got 6 items, bad to have 7, just put boots in the backpack, and pick up a full butterfly.
Yeah, get the flutter in the fight instead. It is just a vastly superior item to the treads later on in these fights. Also should be, since it costs like 4 times as much.
So Nails TP in, it's like they want to have this fight. Universe Life hit the arrow, they got the stun, the arrow will connect for Resolution, the BKB comes off, Ice Blast is coming over the top of River Creek! That damage is huge! Resolution, however, is now going to hit the ground, no protection from BKB, Sven is going to go down, Roger can only clean up the creep over his Echo Slam, minimal effective damage on the EG as they keep the momentum going, hitting into Roger, Universe becomes unstoppable, the big things, no Echo Slam, no ES, he's got no buyback for a full minute, and EG might get to force the buyback out on Sven. It's a long way to go, however, and they're turning their attention towards Roshan. He's not back yet, as 2 seconds late could possibly spawn. Do they get lucky? Do they get lucky? And they don't. It's a minute and 10.
10 seconds after the Sven. So I want to say this respawn timer maybe favors Empire, as we're going to see the fight here again. So Renzo not getting the BKB off on the initial Sand King stun could have been a disaster. He still got it off just in time, but a little bit of miscoordination there. The lasso on the Wyvern and Sven at the same time going on the Sand King. They have 2 different targets. Crit is 100% dead there if they just combine, but you know, high pressure environment, high pressure moments, sometimes you make the wrong decision, and EG capitalized in a big way with those 2 kills, and they desperately needed that. They were starting to fall so far behind. This is a little bit of a dip back the other way, but no objectives for EG. No tower, no Roche, just additional farm and push on the waves.
It's getting a hold back on this game. It's stopping the Grants from going out of control. They have started to dip back the way of the Dire side, not by much. That's what momentum is all about. And at the moment, they're looking to gain more. Put Sumail on the front lines. Let him be the initiator. Catch out these cores. That's what they're looking for. Sumail is now only a quarter of a level away from having level 25.
Guess who already has it?
It's gonna be,
It's the Ember Spirit. actually.
Of all of the heroes, I was waiting for you to
He's
say,
fun, right?
are you ready for the plus 65 damage talent tree?
I think he's going to take the Stormhammer talent. I feel like that talent is almost always better. It's a 5-second cooldown on a 2-second stun. It's crazy good in these late game situations.
They're waiting on the Sunstrike. There's a PL illusion. Empire want to kill off Roshan, but EG is watching like hawks. Except Beastmaster isn't vital, so they're watching like Arteezy's PL illusions.
So be careful here though. Nail is in good position. Roger actually going to Shadow Amulet here.
Well, at least he can set up. He's had a hard time getting in for the fights. He would really love to finish up the Shadow Blade. Having that Echo Slam fall short in the last mid-fight.
Learn from his teammate who isn't here. Go down mid and just hide right in the middle of the lane.
Sorry, it's the emails they get late at night. I wish you were here, but by the way, we should do this in the game. EG is just waiting so long in the Team Empire jungle. They're waiting for them to come down, but Empire is also waiting for Roshan. The Forest Spirit's going to get on the posture as well as Resolution at the pit, but of course the PL Illusions are pushing into bottom lane. Team Empire are faced with a difficult choice. Do they try and defend? The Ice Blast will do a decent time to defend that, and they do send FN down. Easiest man to get back thanks to the Ember Spirit with the Remnants.
This is a very, very tense moment. This fight's going to determine a lot. There's no buyback on the Phantom Lancer. Invoker, I believe, does have it just barely.
Splinter Blast reveals the position. Prince on the front line, Samel. They're using him as bait. The force up gets crit away from Virus Strike. And the Echo Slam. Is there enough space? Goes into the BKB up. The Finch is done. It locks up EG. They're trying to retreat. Get away from the damage of Resolution. He's already cleared 2 and twice. But they want more. The last on the PL. Doppelganger is there. You can make a couple more Arteezy. Trying to run fast. They don't know where the real one is. FN's going after him. They need a kill on PL. 2 seconds. He's got Menace out of battle. More power Arteezy. Down the hill. Which one's the real one? FN make a choice. Not a fifth Arteezy. TPing out. But he can't make it in time. Ice Blast was coming, but FN got there first. And no buyback for the PL. Will allow now Empire to go into Roshan if they want it, if not more.
Crit really needs to watch his positioning. I don't think he can be the one getting jumped on. This Wyvern is way too important for their counter engages. It feels like forever since we've seen a Cold Embrace and a Winter's Curse. He's always getting killed so early. And the moment this Wyvern is jumped on, it's like, it's just a paradise for Sven. During this PKB, nobody's going to touch him. His 5 seconds of complete domination, just runs from one hero to the next, gets a couple of cleaves off, and when they finally get him under control, they've already lost 2 heroes and a half, and the fight's over. It can't, if they want to bait someone, it can't be that Wyvern. It has to be someone else. But who do you throw on the front lines? Do you want to throw the PL in there? He could just get blown up as well.
Well, you can always just throw the bigger ones that always got killed before. Why don't you throw Sai? Is that enough?
Throw him to the wolves, I guess.
It seems to be the most
They fight for the third player.
expendable one out of EG, because you can't have PL, you can't have Invoker there, you can't have Mirana there, and you need the curse control.
And the really big issue is that EG just don't have information. They can't. We're talking about who to throw to the wolves because it seems almost impossible for EG to get the jump. It's very hard for them. To me, when this Wyvern dies, this fight's almost unplayable. Like, instantly dead. We see the Shaker with a quick reaction, great play from Roger, just sniping down that Sanking immediately. And at this point, what do you do 3 on 5? You've expended your BKBs. FN's on fire.
Time to come back to the fight. You've got one quick stun. Moonlight Shadow gives the protection. Crit looking to the bottom lane as FN with that Sleight of Fist. Chris just trying to make it to the tree lines and away to safety.
Should be
And
okay.
he will be able to do that, and so will Sumail. They want to fight from inside their base, not outside. Fight from the position of power, from the position of fight.
Wait, where did the cheese go? Oh, Shaker has both. Shaker has in his backpack, and the Aegis is on FN. So big advantages going the way of Empire. 10k lead, Aegis and cheese in their inventories, and EG are back to the comfort of their home, which is not really the comfort they would like to have right now. They would like to have the comfort of the opposing team's home, and they haven't really been able to kind of almost cross the river for 20 minutes now, 25. It is a really difficult game. This is Batrider Paradise. He's actually, in my opinion, uncountered in this game. We've seen so many Batrider games where if you don't have that Batrider counter, he seems to take over games. You could say, in a way, Cold Embrace is a counter, but just not against this lineup, man. If you Cold Embrace someone, they're still in a lot of trouble. So much magic damage from Empire. It's a great lineup with mixed damage types.
The only counter is Zion jumping in to get the Virus Strike, but with the BKB up, that doesn't even work.
And he kills himself to do it.
Yep.
It's very unrealistic that you're going to get a blink stun. Unless you can get like a very quick blink into stun backwards and then force that, you could maybe get out.
Ghost Stick, try and take to the hills at the moment. The Forest Spirit's getting rid of the Observer Ward. EG EG are definitely on the defense. Protect everything. Outriders Firefly doesn't have a lot of time left, and thanks to the very low cooldown of Tornado for Sumail, they can chip away at these towers quite nicely.
arrow connected.
5 seconds, but it's way too far to venture out. In fact, at this point, even if Empire catch an arrow, maybe the fate that EG does not want to fight.
It's good if it's on FN. I think then Empire will win the fight if EG hard commit on the center. They probably have to wait until this Aegis expires. And that means even more gold gain for Empire. This is the classic late game situation where you have Aegis and Cheese and you have the map control hero. EG just are going to get massively off. Look at FN's confidence just going into the enemy base, clearing out the creep wave, jumping out, just keeping EG completely at bay. The way I see it, the best play EG can possibly pull off is trying to bait Bad Rider to lasso a fake PL. That would be the start of a good fight for them, but Ghostic just isn't taking it.
Sumail, maybe
Oh,
they
it's
find
pretty good
some more,
too.
but RTZ's up here, Ghostic blinks away, the Fuse Blade already slowed him down, but Sumail, they're actually backing off. You talk about fear. You've got confidence from FN, you've got this living fear from EG. Anywhere outside the base is not safe.
That's just not the way to start that kill either. You can't start it with a diffusal blade from PL. It has to be the Invoker with an instant damage sword.
Oh, Resolution, he's inside the base looking for that opening. Sumail, as well as Rez, do both their BKBs. Blake Virus right, the Dupli Ghosting. The Sinai Tiger for Siri Chase. Nice. They don't have the life for a Sunstrike coming down. The damage is taken full on Roger. He controls Sumail in the back right now. The curse is out. It holds the Earthshake and Deafening Blast means no real damage is being done to him. This fight is not going to multiple parts. Universe is actually doing the damage with the Maelstrom for Siri Chase. No, he will fall down as well. There's more RTs to continue the fight, but they do not see Roger. He sees everybody else. A 2-for-2 trade-off. But the initiation is gone. The BKBs are burned. Roger able to grab that Empire gem and then get back out.
That would have been a big win for EG if they recovered the Gem of Empire. Even trading 2 for 2 like that would have been very nice. But yeah, they bring it back, and will probably, as a result, keep controlling the map as they have. Very important to note, though, this Sven is starting to struggle a little bit. I'm wondering if Resolution is thinking about going for a refresh roll instead. I'm just thinking about killing crit, but he doesn't have vision.
Whoops.
Oh, if there was a actually, there's no counter. So.
Yeah.
Linken's has been really nice. You see, he would definitely get cursed here if he didn't have a Linken, but Zai, like you said, he kind of has to go in. Good Cold Embrace was not enough Empire. FN has the damage.
It was enough.
That curse was important.
Yeah. Sumail needed to be freed for that fight. It's from both sides this time around. Like, EG got what we were talking about. They had Zai being able to get that initiation stuff that EG can then move around. And the problem was then created by Roger onto Sumail, but Winter Wyvern did his job. The Cold Embrace, he didn't make it easy for Team Empire to grab one kill and move on to the next. That's what happened in the mid-fight, where you had Resolution just swing down onto Crit, move on to another target that's already half low, and then just push everybody else of EG back again.
Yeah, it's crucial that this BKB usage from Sven doesn't net kills. If they can avoid that, then they're kind of playing 5 on 4.5, I would say, after. Like, it's not like Sven can't do anything, but he's getting very controlled by all of this lockdown, especially from Sumail. So, the scary part for EG is what if Empire get the jump? If they get the jump, Sven comes in with a BKB and has a target, it gets dangerous very fast. Again, Wyvern's positioning is crucial. The big difference this time is he's able to cast spells.
Resolution now has the butterfly on him, and he's going refresh roll as the next time.
Yeah, there we go.
Double the BKB.
That's what he needed.
Double the silence.
As I was saying,
duration he wants.
maybe getting it over Butterfly would have been a good choice as well, but he wants both.
Yep.
And he doesn't really have much reason to worry that he won't be able to farm them both. If Empire want, they have like this iron grip on the map for quite a while, kind of keeping EG in this stranglehold inside of their base for it seems like an eternity now. And this is when you start wondering, think back in the group stage, how many games have Empire had like this? Yesterday they had the game against Cloud9 for over an hour. They were way further ahead in that one. It felt like almost impossible for Cloud9 to win that game. This game is winnable for EG. It definitely feels winnable, but it's hard. Will Empire be able to control the map, get the Aegis advantage once again? And more importantly, will they run their heads against the wall, or will they actually start getting some important objectives? 52 minutes, no barracks. The first lane is kind of insignificant at this point. It doesn't matter that much any longer.
There's enough defense power from EG to defend one lane of ranks. 2 would be difficult, 3 would be almost impossible for them.
Yeah.
Just because the pressure that Empire will apply. But you do actually have one thing in this fight, which is unfamiliar territory just at the moment because the item is kind of ass. Besides the Vice is over on the Invoker, there is nothing like the Legion Commander. There's no press the attack, there's nothing to break them free.
No Lotus.
They're looking for the Lotus Orb on the Earthshaker, but it's still going to take time for Roger to get there.
Yep. It's a big item for a while.
Yeah.
He still needs to play around the Lincolns though. The two Lincolns on both Emperor and Sven.
Stick. He's going to find a target inside, into the Sandstorm, quick force up away, they have the Observer and Sentry watching Ghosting, and he knows it, thanks to the Gem of True Sight, they'll get rid of the Observer Ward, making Samael blind on the map. Crit's also a long way out, with Zai, they are in almost no man's land inside their jungle, both have TP scrolls available, but they're like trying to make a break for the tree line. Crit jumps inside the Infants, another Sandstorm from Zai, and every player from EG who was up on the northern side have now returned home.
And Evan takes care of that top wave. He doesn't kill it off entirely, but he gets most of the creeps down to half, so this momentum in the top lane should shift, and in addition to that, Rezo is going to cut this creep wave top. So once again, EG playing one lane.
Well, Roger, he's found a target. The Shadow Blade, he's right on top of him, Arteezy. You got multiples to choose from. They're going for the individual one. Instance up from the Echo Sand. They have to control him. Here comes...
What?
Comes your Ice Blast, and the lasso will hold him there. Arteezy will fall, and Empire get the pick off they've been waiting for. And they may get more resolutions ready for the mid lane. Universe has BKB resolution, can go for the short range hit, and exactly what he does. Not only to get the Orchid up against the Stormbolt, but more than a BKB counter. And Universe is gone, both have buyback.
I like watching big crits. It's also why I like watching PA games. It's a very rewarding thing to see. Boom.
Resolution brings the big one, plus 549 damage when God Strength is turned on. And that's on top of his basic 222.
Two dead horse. This is buyback forcing territory. I would be very impressed if EG don't have to buyback here. They've had some great defensive play so far in their base, but this might just be the limit of what their lineup can actually perform.
Well, Samel's is trying to get rid of the mid lane, but Resolution's coming in through the bottom. Ghosting already with Firefly up, looking for that target to move forward onto. Trip. As the Splinter Blast forces Resolution to blink itself further away, the melee rank under siege, fortifications available. You've got 37 seconds until they're back up, and FN is taking the tier 3 tower up on top. They baited Samel up. Where is that control? Empire, they are leaving. You got to buy back out from Arteezy. And do they regroup and go back in again for the Mirana one? Doesn't look like it. 20 seconds is too long, is too short a time.
Oh, you get Roche. I think this was everything they came for. They were hoping to force a buyback or get a Barons. They get the best buyback they could get. I think the Mirana would have been less valuable. And now they're straight over to the pit.
They see it
knowing
now.
that this is respawn. And you feel like EG should come out and contest this. I just don't know if they can get there fast enough. They don't have their shrine to connect with. They're going to try, it looks like. Smoke is ready on Crit.
The Sunstrike scattered out, both the fact that Roshan is alive, as well as the fact that they started over the Echo Slam. It captures Invoker, the feature as well. Sinking can't help that, the BKB last one onto Crit. Kills the end of it to Wyvern. There's no cuts available now. He's still silenced up, rooted to the ground. FN's going to double kill with a Stormbolt. Resolution beats up the Wyvern. Buybacks are coming left, right, center here for Evil Geniuses. While Arteezy still wants to fight. He has Samael here. They have to make these buybacks worth it. The 3-4s are here ready to fight. FN's BKB triggered for the moment. Spirits himself away. That BKB got another 3 seconds left on it. They'll stick with him. The Tornado a little bit too early. Roger still wanting the hits control. Arteezy looking at Mapochka. At least he would love to, but he can't see him. An Infant's Rune spawn, and Mapochka can walk away from him.
Empire are playing really, really well. These fighting in this game. They're taking so much advantage of the vision that they have, and they're playing without fear for the most part. You know, when they're playing with fear, I feel like they have good reason to.
Well,
EG wishes they were playing with fear right now.
yeah, unfortunately, he's their coach. Arrow flies forward. Roger not going to walk into it, but everybody just chipping and saying hi. Roger, no Echo Slam, but the Fidger catching two. Here comes your Ice Blast. Double stop with the lasso. This is huge. This is massive. Universe is gone. Wyvern as well in the grave with no second life. Zai can help out. Ghosting doesn't have his BKB. The arrow flies forward. The Creeps can actually take that one up. As Empire, again they move backwards. Arteezy again moves forward. Looking for the fight. Looking for an opening. But Empire have no holds in their defense. Zai wants resolution, but his blink's too good as well. Straight back towards the shrine.
Look at this gold graph, and look at the last 30 minutes of gameplay. This is 3 red dots at the bottom. EG have found 3 kills in half an hour. And that's a kill on a Shaker, a kill on the Sven, and, or actually maybe they've got 4 kills, I think, and a kill on the AA, that's it. It's just been this complete domination from Empire across the map. They've kind of had 10 times as many successful moves, and it's just showing. That fight was so huge again. They don't get objectives, but they kind of, was that 3 buybacks that were expended from EG? I think The Phantom Lancer expended his in the defense. The Mirana used her buyback. Sumail used his buyback to try to take that fight. Did Zai also buyback? No, he didn't.
No, he's
The
the only
don't
one.
have that luxury.
Everyone else has a buyback going 5 minutes or more.
So Crick did as well. So that's 4 buybacks on cooldown for EG. If Empire gets any half-decent fight here, the game's over.
Yep. And this is where EG, like, again, we're talking about the miracle play for them. They still do hold their racks. They do still hold their base intact. So at least not dealing with a split push, right? Real problem that Empire can give if they have momentum in a way. Instead, they just send FN into the other lane when they attack at the top tier 3 town. That's why it's only got 184 HP. The bottom lane is exposed. So Team Empire will crack the racks with this push. The question is, how much does it cost them to do it, if anything? And they're going to smoke. They're moving closer. 5 heroes all grouped up. They want an opening. They have no vision inside the EG base at the moment.
No bot strength for 20, so this is a little bit of a weaker resolution right now.
Zai's on the retreat. Firefly, it doesn't see him deep enough. They put down the Observe Ward. Now they do see the SK. And while Blink Lasso, they got Chris. He doesn't have buyback. He needs to get this curse off. The Glimmer Cave's hiding in this, but where's your curse? The silence lasts too long. It was the Bloodthorn of Resolution doing the work. Blink Boris Strikes trying to catch out the ES. Remember, that Echo Slam is a problem, but not if he doesn't have the mana for it. Roger going to be brought down by Arteezy. Mid lane still being attacked. The Hex over an FN, as well as the EMP burn. If they can get rid of his mana, not enough of it. He still has a 2k mana pool with a Boris Strike catching those at EG. They're chipping him. They're getting ton of opportunities, but no big kills just yet. Oh, outside! Mercy, mercy, please! FN wants more as well, but he's got no mana. Arteezy, well, freeze yourself in time and space. The Colding will latch. Resolution's back. So is the Back Rider with a BKB. Resolution wants to kill on Universe. He's trying to close the distance. Universe, no lead. Silence up. That may be enough to try. Can't do the work. FN up to cover the BKB. Right on top of Samel. You'll send him up towards the BKB from Samel. But the physical damage is penetrating the affinity while he's being lassoed up. This is a slaughter fest. It's a worthwhile killing spree at the moment. Empire will take the mid lane out. FN wants more. Arteezy trying to finish. The curse is out. Resolution, he's your friend.
Oh, nice force there.
He pushes him away. And now the clean goes to work. It's good game. It's done. Resolution, Empire. They take game 1 against Evil Geniuses in the lower bracket of TI.
They looked really good that game. That's scary, man. That's a team that has grown a lot since the early group stage. Very, very impressive. And EG at the same time, this is their 3rd consecutive loss at the main stage. We saw a similar situation from Team Liquid. They pulled it back afterwards, after that loss against Team Secret. We're going to need to see something similar here from Evil Geniuses, where they just reset, start playing with more confidence. They once again have this, it's like there's this mental block at some point in the game. In this game, I think it's very understandable because they're playing without vision against a team with more information, and the control is really favoring Empire, but there seems to be like this mental block at some point where EG's moves just stop working.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if that also comes down to their draft. It looked like the things just like their timings didn't synergize in the Team Empire lineup. I think the panel said it, like, why don't they just focus on what they do good? And they did that very, very well. They had the perfect initiation. They had the stuns. They had the instant stuns control into the big team fight controllers, plus your global, plus your heavy physical damage. The Empire lineup just synergized beautifully to a point where it didn't look like there was a clear, easy answer from EG, and now they have to look for the answer.
And everyone is talking about Rezo, but this game for me, FN and Ghosted came up really, really big. Gotta highlight those 2 players.
Yeah, fantastic performance from them. Team Empire, 1 series up.
Man, at the end of that game, Synderen said it best, 3 kills for EG in 30 minutes. And at one point, Pycat, you were even joking as Earthshaker was spinning around in mid lane outside front. This is what happens at TI. You just stop taking risks at some point.
I mean, he was, well, I don't know, I felt like that was sort of the tribute to Chappie, man. He was like dancing around with his Shadow Amulet and doing all sorts of weird stuff. But yeah, in this game I think we saw they did pick the peel into the Shaker and then followed up with the Sven and the Ember, and
yeah,
it kind of looked like EG's 2 cores that were in the game were sort of Invoker and Bottom, because peel was just too countered to kind of be a factor in this game. Arteezy didn't have that good of a game, but it is really difficult to play the peel up against those heroes. So I think that this last pick, like waiting with your picks, the important course, it's something that we see time and time again, when you pick those cores too early, you can get countered, and it's very hard to play from that point.
And I want to ask a little bit about EG consistently has had good starts in their games. Rarely do we ever see them in a poor position after 15 minutes or so. But at this point, they've lost 3 games in a row on the main stage. One more and they're out. In fact, one more loss and they will exit TI without a single win, which is a real shock given that they were top 3 in the last 3 TIs.
Tomato was talking about how they drafted for the lanes. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think EG focused too much on lanes. I don't know what was EG winning condition, because like they're winning the lanes and make these cute plays like the Wyvern ult to Arrow, which like yeah they look cool, but how did they win the game? Like they didn't stop them farming stacks. They didn't slow the Batrider's Blink Daggers. Like they're making Acid Aberration pick off the whole game, and they have like no counterplay to that.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult for them. Also, with this game, we talked a lot about resolution. I think this game was actually the least resolution-focused Empire that we've actually seen. Ghostic played extremely well on the Batrider, and yeah, Sven, they made it seem easy for him, and they just played extremely well, way better than I saw them in the group stage.
The one thing that is cool about Team Empire is that it kind of feels like now they're kind of just rallying around Rezo, you know? It's like sometimes when you find something to play around or someone, it just makes you play better. And to me, yeah, like you said, it just feels like Empire are playing better than they did in the group stage. And maybe it is because they kind of just found that, you know, they found this win and now they're sort of, you know they trusted Rezo and they kind of found their stride a little bit and they're looking good.
I mean, you brought up Ghostic earlier. There was the amazing blink dive with BKB on for Ghostic on Batrider to save Sven from the arrow. Just incredible coordination and allowing Resolution to shine. Purge, talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on the match.
Well, I agreed with a lot of what Tomato said about how EG's combos were really effective, but they didn't ultimately pull through in the end. I have a clip of that here. They use Winter Wyvern, Winter's Curse to set up a very long duration stun. They bring in the Great Arrow for another 5-second stun, which guarantees a lot of damage output on heroes that are difficult to kill like Ember Spirit. But when you get to the point of the game where your cores have Black King bars, or even Force Staffs, it becomes a lot harder to kill them. They didn't quite have the setup time here with their Potom ultimate, and unfortunately, before the arrow was able to strike its target, Resolution was able to use his Black King bar, and then the whole rest of the fight got so difficult. And there was a lot of other times where there was team fights like that, because all they really had was Burrow Strike, Winter's Curse, they needed Arrow, and they needed those abilities to combo together. It wasn't simple. Even something as simple as a Force Staff really interrupted that a lot of times. Guy that gets first stunned gets Force Staffed, which means he's out of the direction that the arrow is coming. So it just made things really tough for them. And throughout the entire game, it just really felt like Empire were the ones that could make the grabs, make the picks, and very often what they would do is push forward very aggressively to place Observer Wards in really good spots. They placed a couple here. They ended up sneaking all the way into the enemy jungle in a later moment to do that as well. And then it just gave them this commanding vision where EG, who didn't want to push, who didn't want to gank, were constantly within Wardian vision, and it gave Empire a lot more chances to actually get picked off. So straightforward win for Empire, and they played very well.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see the ways in which EG would adjust their lineup. I mean, we have been pretty consistent seeing Resolution on the Sven, on other hard carries throughout. EG really seems like the ones who need to, well, they obviously have a very clear game plan with 2 flexible picks early, but I mean, how do you adjust your picking in this spot?
I think that they should go for something that they kind of know well. If I were in EG's shoes now, I would want them to go back for something along the lines of Venomancer or Drow Ranger, kind of like get RTG on some comfort hero, maybe Lycan, just get him on something that he likes playing in, kind of just find those comfort heroes for every player, so everyone knows what to do, and then just go with that. Don't overthink things, you know. They should know that they're a good team, they're all good players, they can definitely do this. I'm sure they have, you know, the crowd. I'm pretty sure they kind of like EG, and they have a lot going for them, so I think just go with the comfort zone and do their thing.
You know, Tomato, what if you can speak a little bit to the fact that sometimes you've seen EG try to do too many things? Did you feel like that happened in the recent game or the recent draft?
Yeah, I think they're trying to be too cute with the combos and stuff. Like, I've seen EG like do some dog tier combos, and I'm pretty sure like their team fight's much better than Empire's. And they're just playing around like winning lanes, and I don't know. I don't see like an overall better strategy from EG. Meanwhile, in Empire, like they're trusting Resolution. They're playing around him like Force Staffs, protecting him, giving him stacks and stuff. It's pretty nice.
The very clear game plan of Empire is paying huge dividends. As these players are stepping into what could be the last match of the day, we're going to briefly step away for something a little more lighthearted, as Shiver and Slacks take themselves a nice little trip to the zoo.
Welcome to the Woodland Park Zoo.
This is not a zoo, Shiver. This is a museum for everything that we know and voted to. Let's get in there and see some heroes.
All right.
Right here, we're in the Night Silver Woods, and there is Nova. Nova! It's not nighttime, or else I would have worked for sure.
I mean, yeah. Zonky the donkey?
That is Zonky the donkey. Can't believe I got to see a celebrity today. Look at that, Shiver. A phoenix egg and a phoenix feather.
Those are very rare, you know.
Now, how much damage can these guys, survive? Do you know any phoenix voice lines, Chief? That thing doesn't speak phoenix.
No.
Oh, somebody just called him over from the mid lane.
Yeah.
Go get him, Zonky. Go get him. Oh, no, he's not moving very fast. No upgrade.
Someone upgrade him fast.
He's gonna die.
Meet the original Bristleback.
Yeah, you don't like it when I mention Tusk, do you, Bristle?
Yeah.
You'll get him, Bristle.
Next.
Okay.
Why is like him not eating Enchantress?
It's daytime.
Ow!
The ganks are coming.
The pack is active.
Oh my god, Shiva, look at it! It's
Really?
Dota's best casters, Toby Wan and Gods, right here!
Right.
It's a disaster!
They're all dead.
They're all dead! A minion of the Monkey King.
Ow! Ow! Thank you for not howling at the wolves. Okay, we
Sorry.
missed that one.
Sorry about that one. Look, Shiva, these are people that ask for 2 tangos when the game starts, before they go mid.
I don't know what to say. I always give 2 tangos. What does that make me? What does it
Makes
make
you
me?
the supplier of the blood-sucking leeches.
I'm the blood donor.
I'm ready to leave. Can we go? Not for yet.
Well, hopefully it is foreshadowing that we'll get to see Artesian Lycan, a big comfort pick for him. Of course, one of the most successful heroes in this tournament. Curious to see how they'll adjust their plan.
Also the Enigma that we talked about, I was banned in the last phase. That's a good win condition. Like you can
Final ban, yeah.
kill cores and then push high ground when they're dead, and then you can just sit back if they try and fight you. Pretty simple, right? Theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like some of the most successful drafts that we've seen have very clear synergies. They're just straightforward and clear to play. There's a lot of obvious combos, there's a lot of obvious setups, and I mean, perhaps I was a little too overexcited by the kookiness of some of the early EG combos with Earthshaker mid and the great Zai on Naga Siren setting up the nets for Mirana. On the main stage, it has not performed well.
They definitely have to have the synergy in their drafts. We saw the best synergy they had was Winter's Curse into Arrow, which might kill one hero. Maybe.
I feel like you don't really want to give Universe a hero like Potem. Like, when you have a player like that who's been around for so long and is considered by many people, you know, one of the best players and one of the best, absolutely best offlaners, and he has a lot of heroes that he's very good at. He's Batrider, Enigma, you know, Void to name a few. You just put him on one of those heroes, you know. Give him some, if they get the Shaker or whatever, you know, give him one of these kind of standard offlane heroes and then play off of that. I think that's a good way for EG to kind of get the ball rolling.
You know, I'm curious about the graphic that we just saw that talked about the most successful heroes in TI in terms of percentages, and Nature's Prophet was sitting there at 60% win rate, and this is a pick we've seen be very successful for EG, but seems to be consistently banned against them as well. The whole split pushing focused lineups, going for early pressure. I mean, what are your thoughts on the big picks that EG's undervaluing?
I think Nature's Prophet is insane. I think that hero's too good. Like, yeah, like, even if you lose the lane, you can just like rotate. And if you win your lane, you rotate and win other lanes. And then you're just fine because the stats from Nature's too good. And then EG plays it pretty well with Lycan and stuff. I've streamed against that. And they get like Shadow Shaman, Nature's Prophet. And they get minions with Visage too. And they do like so much damage. But I think Empire knows about it, so I don't think we're going to see Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, Empire's been pretty on point, just shutting out some of the regular strategies. And, you know, we've talked a little bit about about Evil Geniuses and some of the adjustments they'll have to make, but at this point in time, do you think that Empire is really in their groove? They've found their zone? I mean, what are you expecting for them going into Game 2?
Well, they are the underdog, and they are already up one game. I forgot who was it up here that was talking about the underdog mentality, where you just have nothing to lose and you play a lot better. And was it you?
Yeah, I mean, and Rezo's been through that too. I think like for him it should be a similar feeling, you know. It's like you get that one game. I'm sure he has. You can feel it. Like when I was coaching DC last year and we started doing well. I think it was once we got past top 8, everyone just got into this groove where it was like, you know, it's. We wanted to get to top 8, and then we got to top 8, and you know after that everything else is just a bonus, and you just feel you're just happy to play. You know, it's not like you're not playing anymore to like, oh shit, we're gonna lose. You know, it's just you're just going for it, and I think that Empire might be onto that.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Resolution with a big grin on his face in the booths, and now we've gotten word that the players are ready to start game number 2. Will Evil Geniuses go out without a single main stage win, or will Empire be faced with game 3? We'll find out right now.
Evil Geniuses versus Team Empire. Game 2.
Empire on fire right now. And interesting, EG just straight up picks Puck first.
Oh, Nyx. Oh my god. The hero so annoying to play against.
What about him?
He had counters like half the hero pool, like all the intelligence heroes.
Oh yes, mana burn that burns mana proportional to the intelligence of the hero getting targeted.
And then Carapace, like you just like Puck presses Q and you press Carapace and Puck's dead. That's it. Nice.
Well, I'm curious about this Puck first pick. I mean, let's assume he's mid for a moment. Would not be surprising to see him go elsewhere.
I think that's a poor assumption though, because that's why EG picks him first a lot. It's one of their it was their common opener, and then it was straight banned every single time first phase against them for like a month, because they would run an off lane and then push with Drow when you thought you had a mid Puck countered. So
actually, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Have Puck in position 4 or 5?
Yes, they had a position 5 Puck as well.
Yeah.
Disregard that line of thought then.
So you see Drow and Lycan being removed both here. Drow being removed by Empire and Lycan by EG.
Interesting.
Well, when anyone has Night Stalker, Lycan becomes a very viable hero. As you get more nighttime, Lycan becomes stronger.
Does it surprise you that EG were the ones to ban out Lycan?
No, because it's fine for Empire, I think, to pick it as well. I mean, it doesn't matter who has the Night Stalker.
Yeah, Empire has the first pick after 4 bans, so they can actually steal Lycan from EG in today's ban. Oh, that's a different game. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Puck off. They're already banning like 2 of Universe heroes.
Yeah, I mean, the Enigma, such a strong hero for Universe, always has. Oh, Basil's Void ban as well for EG.
Yeah, combos with his situation.
He's also one of those heroes. We did see Rezo play, was it yesterday, and where he did very well on that Faceless Void, and you know he carried that game pretty hard, and they're probably scared of that, especially in combination with the A, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and that game was so impressive to see. I mean, Resolution kept #1 network the entire game. I don't even think he died, or if he did, it was only once.
He didn't, I think. Yeah.
Just
He rushed
the
Link.
game.
It's one of those heroes that has like nice impact the whole game, and then he carries later.
I think there's an increasing likelihood that we'll see TA. TA hasn't seen much play, but that's because Nyx has been the first ban every single time, and now that Nyx is in the game, like Invoker, Quap, Puck, like a lot of these mid heroes just you can't pick, or you can't pick and expect to do very very well. I think Ember also, like just most of the mid heroes. I think TA actually matches pretty well versus both of these heroes on Empire too.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation you bring up, that Nyx Assassin has been one of the most influential heroes on the mid lane. Just honestly kind of chilling nearby, we've seen Nyx Assassins getting mana burn at level 1 in a lot of those matchups.
Yeah, you played against that yourself, didn't you? Against, was it Secret?
I've been a victim of the Nyx Assassin style.
Yeah. It doesn't feel so good.
Yeah, it took the
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
This is kind of to counteract the Night Stalker Vision game from Empire here. It's a good hero. It also allows you usually to kind of push, kind of go 5-man sort of early on, and then rendering Night Stalker kind of useless. On top of that.
Let me go for it.
And Venom AA is a great combo.
Exactly.
That is terrifying as a core.
Just the absolutely massive damage from Venomancer's poison abilities, particularly ultimate plus AA's ultimate.
And they have the Icy Vortex, and then Veno usually builds Veil too, it just compounds.
Yeah, once your BKBs are 5 seconds, and unless you have some sort of summons and stuff to push base, it's really difficult to push base against that.
Nice call tomato on the Nature's Prophet.
I don't know which team did earlier. It was Night Stalker, Nature's Prophet. Oh, I think it was LFY. And they as well.
EG also has run this before with great success in group stages.
They might go for like Clockwork Psychic.
So you think Nyx is gonna be offline?
No, I think Psychic off. I think like they don't have enough setup for Instant Liberation. They could just like pick Ember now.
What position do you think Venomancer will be run in Team Empire?
That's it. Let's spin.
Hello, Resolution. Welcome back.
Could be a mid Venom, maybe?
Yeah,
Likely.
it's pretty strong. Pretty stable.
Yeah, because I don't think that you don't really want to give the Venomancer to Resolution. It doesn't, it's not necessarily, like, it's not really that type of hero that carries the game, so to speak.
Also, was it Team Secret that ran, no, excuse me, that was Team Liquid that ran Venomancer in mid against Team Secret, opting to avoid getting the wards early, just make sure that the Gale smashed out first.
This also kind of makes sure that EG don't really want to go for that TA anymore. It's kind of unlikely that you go for the TA into Sven and Venno, Sven with the Warcry, and then also all the AoE, like damage over time from Venno.
He's a pretty strong laner. He's like a mini Viper. We saw like no one do that stuff. He max Gale, and then he has like push all the enemy. Like plus Gale, and then enemies.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you have Gale with Night Stalker, oh gosh, is that such a vicious combination.
We've seen Razor a few times to counter spam. I'm trying to think about RTZ Zero here.
Yeah.
There's not too many others. Hopefully not PL again.
Yeah, and Empire actually do have last pick.
Yeah, who are the carries still available that Arteezy might run in this position?
I think it's the Razor. I don't see any other option. There's no Void. There's no like.
I think it's really hard to play Razor against AA.
Yeah, it's not a nice game. But they could just like last pick a nice strong laner and then go over.
They could pick AM too. They do AM versus Venom.
AM against Vendo?
Yeah, it's nice.
There's not that many options, right? Not many things left.
Wyvern again.
This pick it like it counters this Ven directly.
So at this point, it looks like Evil Geniuses is waiting for pick 5 for Arteezy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see they could go kind of all in and do some sort of like bone, like some clinks or something. That's not Arteezy hero. We haven't seen it in a while though.
That would be fun. I would love to see Clinks. He creates a lot of action in the mid game, running around invisible.
These heroes like this AA and some of those like Venomancer potentially can die very easily to that hero.
Yeah, they definitely don't have good mobility at all, and they're extremely squishy.
You also need a pipe though on EG.
Just they're gonna Bat Rider. They don't Bat Rider to be bad.
Yeah, Bat Rider's lasso obviously great at snatching Nature's Prophet, who tends to have weak mobility.
A little tough to play versus NS though.
Hey, Bat Rider, nice call, and
Oh,
Terror.
that was an insta pick. They're confident.
Alright, when in doubt, go to the Terrorblade.
What about Terrorblade fits in here? I mean, obviously there's Sven, who's great against illusions in general with his cleave attack. Why Terrorblade here for EG? Fit into the fact that they want to do a push-heavy lineup?
Fits multiple reasons. Yeah, I think he plays it very well. You know, he's one of the few heroes that can also heal up from AA and Venom. I think Weaver and Terrorblade are they're like the two main cores that can still get their HP back. But mostly, I think because it fits into their push quite well.
He can kite the Sven. Oh, nice too.
There's still LC. LC Empire picks a lot. Especially now that the Terrorblade might be okay.
Yeah, I think LC's pretty nice.
But not good versus Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
But it's good versus summons. I don't know. It's kind of a tough call here.
Only 15 seconds left for Team Empire with their final pick. And already they have a pretty nice setup to just make sure that Resolution can be comfortable.
Are they gonna random like Newbie? right.
Ah, Murata.
Okay, so that's a mid run.
Wow. FN.
So is this the off lane? Is it Venomancer off lane or the Nyx? Yeah, it's Venom off lane. So they're taking kind of a page out of. Was
Good.
it Liquid?
Could they aggro?
Around that? They could potentially try that.
Yeah. Is jungling viable still? I haven't seen any.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. But I think jungling's pretty bad now.
Well, at this point, the lineups have been locked in. EG, 1 game away from elimination. Empire, 1 game away from top 8. Let's head into game number 2 of EG versus Empire.
Who thought we could potentially be in this position, Cinder? And Evil Geniuses 1 game away from being eliminated from TI7. Now the crowd here will have something to say about that, but so will Team Empire, being 1 game up so far. I'm not going to say a convincing performance, a long performance, so a typical Empire performance.
You don't think they were convincing the last game?
I don't think it was one-sided. Compared to the games we were looking at yesterday, like this was a little bit more where potentially EG had a chance to come back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a complete shutout, but I definitely say Empire had control.
I think they dominated for minute 25. But you're right. For the first part of the game, it looked like a pretty close game. Now we'll see in this game if Evil Geniuses can come together better, play their lineups advantages a bit better, and this time around at least they won't have the vision problem. This time they have the Night Stalker. Yeah. There's no banner in the game. There is a Nyx, which is like a wild card thing because Nyx support, I would say in general, has had huge success this tournament, and it's good against specific heroes in this game. But I do consider Night Stalker a pretty good matchup against Nyx overall. The silence is very annoying. If he sees you on top of a sentry ward at any point, he can actually just almost solo kill you, but at least set you up for a very easy kill for your team. Once again, though, I have to question a little bit. I'm not sure about this Winter Wyvern pick again. It seems a little bit out of place. It's being picked into 3 or 4 magic damage heroes from Empire. It's good against the Sven, sure, but does that really does that give the hero turn the hero into a good pick? I'm personally not the biggest fan of this choice. I think the rest of the picks for EG are good and make a lot of sense for what they want to do.
I'm interested to see if there's
See if
also
it
a
comes
pick up
together.
to try and counter against some other potential options. Again, like the Ancient Apparition from Empire kind of counters almost everything EG was potentially also thinking about jumping into. I'm thinking about what's happening with the Alchemist pickup. The Pip was going to come in straight up D-Ward, so EG will at least have a safe lane vision advantage. And Crit could be the first one to spill blood, even though it's a poor, innocent ward.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Night Stalker without wings. That's...
I don't know if we actually have that with the Observer. We're
Pretty sure they do. I think I saw it on their models.
He's been clipped. He's a house bird now, this Night Stalker.
An old bug.
Yeah, he's currently missing his wing, so I'm sorry, you've been clipped, resolution. Actually, Universe had a really wonderful play. He just locked him into the edge of a tree and did a good 200 damage and forced resolution, already burned 1 tango. And it wasn't even the hero, it was just the trees doing the work.
Zai's going to try to come in and contest the rune, but Ghostic is there, will actually skill Gale. They do have Arrow on FN as a possibility as well.
And he doesn't
And Wander's connecting.
He doesn't have Cold Embrace here for Crit, so instead it's just the Arrow. Zai, real issues for him, and FN will take the first kill, bringing down Night Stalker. That was an interesting mission. He didn't have an Observer Ward, it was just Boot Smoke running across the river, maybe Curious Knight.
It's very unusual for support to be killed there. At least it has been in this tournament. The Venom's positioning was excellent there for Ghostic, and they had the right heroes at the right time to make that kill happen. Now, he did have to skill Gale. This will make him a bit weaker in this lane. Arguably, he would like to have Poison Sting going up against the Terrorblade. This good sustained magic damage harassment can give him an advantage, but sometimes also 1-on-2. I'm wondering what Ghostic's going to do here, if he's going to be able to get some good experience or just get shut out.
He's going to get body blocked up by Crit. You can taunt all you want with bananas, but you just slipped on the peel, trying to run away from that Metamorphosis. Arteezy has to go down the river, but Arctic Bird just came back off cooldown for Crit. There goes your Gale, but Zai, remember where this guy was, body blocks him up and allows Crit, in fact, to get the last hit. EG will get something for their safe lane, but Sumail, real issues in the mid, back under the tier 1 tower. They don't have mana burn, it's the Impel, they trigger off the south, the damage from FN is enough, 1 last arrow from the Mounted Ranger, able to reach behind the tier 1 tower.
Really nice plays from both teams. That body block from Crit was beautiful. That was a 3 or 4 second full body block that he managed to pull off, and it was necessary for Zai to connect. At the same time, they get this connection in mid, and for once, Nyx skilled stun level 1 and not Mana Burn. And that's because they went for that first blood. Did probably, I didn't see the play itself, but it was probably a connection with the Impale into the arrow on
It was.
and he able to set that kill up. So
And he still gets level 2 now, so the hard life for the Intel heroes in the mid begins again for Sumail. Needs to have his ball, but for the moment he's only bringing out the healing sound as well as the circle. Universe, Resolution. Well, there's not much more they can do to him apart from remove his life, but that's a big thing when he's only got 3 tangos left. And crit, okay. Tries to juke in the trees, moves back up again, has to take flight, does not have a TP scroll, so Ghostic and Roger will be hunting this support. He buys boots crit, and he can afford a TP scroll as well now, but that means at least he doesn't lose any gold, but he'll lose his life under the tier 2 tower to Ghostic. Nice level 3 up for this Venomancer now.
I think Crit was hoping to snipe a courier, but it's not in use. Else his positioning there makes absolutely no sense. He's out in the middle of nowhere, but no courier to be found. Empire get themselves a freebie. Fortunately for Crit, like you said, almost no gold loss. He managed to buy up his items at the very least. Did he get the bounty ring? He didn't get the bounty ring there either, right? No. Or maybe? No, actually, maybe
He was passing through the neighborhood.
he may have done.
Universe got Bounty Rune, Poshka, Zai, and Crit all got the recent Bounty Runes.
So I guess Crit did it now.
Yeah. Ghostic, Zai, and RTZ. We're trying to get rid of the Plague Lords. They're only level 1, so they're actually quite easy to deal with, so easy CS on the top lane. But this Invis Rune of Momoshka with a lava combination, and the bottom is one way to do it. Even though Resolution doesn't have the War Cry to allow him just to dive underneath the tower, he still has the Storm Bolt, which synergizes nicely with the Cold Feet. And they can get that bonus damage from the Chilling Touch, which was early leveled up by AA.
That's one of the strongest dual lanes in Dota. Sven AA is really powerful, maybe only really surpassed in terms of kill potential by something like Wraith King AA, which is
Smoke
arguably
coming.
even better.
Crit and Zion making their way towards the mid lane. FN's the one who's a very long way up underneath the tower. He wants to come up because it's a double creep wave there. Sumail can turn to try and fight. Universe will join in, and now you're seeing the power that can come with Nature's Prophet on your side. 4 heroes being brought, but that power still needs to result in the kill. The ball charge from Orion will not be enough for FN to survive, and Sumail will be the one to claim the scout.
Ooh, that was close. It's important for EG to get that kill. I think that was a 5 damage kill or something, like 5 damage overkill. Else FN would have been able to bonk again and actually survive that. So EG, by the skin of their teeth, they get that kill, and now they're going to look to be more kill hungry. This is a level 3 Night Stalker with a haste rune, still without Wingstone, so he's kind of looking very funny here at nighttime.
They're coming in towards mid. He has the silence, he's got a 1-1-1 build, so they can get the silence to FN, but already the lead.
Very
Get
quick
away, saw that Splinter Blast flying through the trees, and it just leaps away quickly.
Ghostic's level 4, by the way. This is a lane I want to have a little bit of a look at because offlane Venomancer is pretty unusual. It has been played a couple of times, but to me this
Might look at a little bit later. Maposhka and Resolution, they're surrounding around. Going for the easier kill. That will be Maposhka. The stun being thrown onto the melee creeps. It actually hits the eye, but it's still going to be the death of Maposhka. So at the hands of Zai as well. So Venomancer.
Another good start for EG, similar to the last game. Guess this mouse disconnected again here. Mouse, yep, okay.
Stop throwing them.
So, okay, this gives us a little bit of time to talk about the Venomancer. When you're playing core Venom, I think some of the big levels to keep an eye out for is level 3, when you get the 2 in Plague Wards, if that's the build you go for. It's generally every point in Plague Ward, apart from level 1, changes the hero a lot. Ghostic, if he feels like he has a hard time top, he can just go jungle all of his camps. Even including the Ancients when he hits level 5, you can farm those Ancient camps. Probably want to leave them to spend though. And in addition to that, the sustained harass that he has against this Terrorblade, if they bring up some additional help, Arteezy can be threatened a lot. Speaking of threat, bottom lane, once again, Zai is in a very good position.
He's trying to wrap around the back, but as Nature's Prophet just
Okay.
he wants to sprout Resolution. He's still got the Culling Blade. He can still count 3. Nick's Assassin with a 1-1-1 build, sitting behind the Resolution. Boss Maposhka doesn't really look like they're looking for any kind of engagement.
They're going to try for mid again, it looks like. EG.
Yeah.
Oh. He has to try. He has to try. It should be okay here because TP is...
Regeneration's good. There goes your TP, and there's no other stun. The Void was already used from Zai. Meanwhile, Universe dies in the bottom lane. That rotation to mid forced EG to take their reinforcements off that lane. Roger, they're at the right time with Maposhka to get the kill.
Universe is doing a good job to not die before this. This lane, in my opinion, is very difficult for Nature's Prophet to deal with. Just the sheer kill potential.
He's going mid now. So, okay,
Get some push going.
you die, hit into the tier 1 tower a bit. FN has been having a harder time. And Sumail is Dream Coil and double damager. You would love it if Empire engaged into him.
He's ready to fight. Night Stalker is a little bit far away though. He's looking for an opportunity. Top Zai does have stick charges. He's going to get spotted by Plague Lord. Very nicely placed here from Ghost Stick. He will close in on his level 6. This off-lane Venom is getting a lot of space.
It's a dangerous thing to do. Off-lane, like a safe lane Venom was normally trouble enough. It's that very quick levels we even sort of had in mind as Venomancer earlier today. But with Venomancer, once you hit level 10, your experience just comes so quickly with that plus 30% gain.
That looks like it's planning to go Treads Force Staff. Force Staff is a very, very good item against both the Puck and the Terror Blade. You simply need to create distance between yourself and these targets of EG. Bottom lane crit. It gets scary here. Now back behind his tower, but Roger will clear it off.
And there's no
Arctic
run.
going for it.
They're way too deep for this. EG not going to force a rotation. Right now they're still using that double damage rune of Sumail to bring down the tier 1 towers. They're looking for a trade-off. Arteezy triggered Metamorphosis once more, so he's beating the tier 1 tower on the top lane. So a lot of tier 1 tower trade-offs. Empire try and take the bottom. Arteezy forced to fight Ghostic. I say forced, he's actually quite willing to do so. Dropping the Venomancer down, but he has a shrine he can utilize. Oh, Poposhka can't get out in time. Sumail wanted to go and join that fight, but he got hit by an arrow from FN in the mid lane.
It's going to be the phase moves completed for Zai. Unfortunately, at the end of the night time, this is the #1 prioritized item that we see Night Stalkers get in this patch. More or less just rushing it, maybe a magic stick or a range off in between, but that is the go-to. Just helps a lot with being able to cover distance with Hunter in the night. It makes you a bit more useful at daytime. You don't feel completely useless. Getting that extra damage in is very nice with the attack speed you get from Hunter in the night at nighttime is such an extreme value point. 45 attack speed from that makes the phase boots hit really hard. But now it's day, so Night Stalker has to chill for a bit. Might see Zai take a lane, get some levels, or go full, while the pressure keeps being put on from both sides. So Arteezy's having a great start in this game on the Terror Blade, that's worth mentioning. He will be getting very far, but was forced back to base here by Ghostic. So that consistent harassment is starting to play a role in limiting Arteezy's farm.
Well, he's had to burn so much mana to stay up on that top lane.
Yeah.
It's the harassment is pushing him towards the tower, so there was a time he just had to retreat. But we'll regen up, TP back up to the top lane, and then it's a rinse and repeat. In 35 seconds, he'll assault the tier 1 tower, and more than likely this time he'll kill it, if Empire can't stop him.
I don't think they're going to let him though. I think they want to fight for that tower and maybe sacrifice their bottom. This bottom tower will be hard for them to defend against this Treant scouting, the potential rotation of the Puck. It's excellent for fights in that area of the map. We'll see. For now, it's just Universe starting to push down this bottom lane, and there's no real contesting from Empire. It doesn't even look like I'm just going to sacrifice this completely. All of them are moving away. EG with a good ward at the shrine. We'll see the A seeding this area, and should mean Empire are going to cross the map and try to do the same thing at the top.
Everyone's seeing everything. Everyone can make really good choices. Even the Observer Lord watching Arteezy farm. And allow the Nyx Assassin to understand exactly what he can get away with, and allow Ghostic to start pressuring into that tier 1 tower, sending Illusion in, just drag the free wave off. Arteezy is not giving the opportunity for Empire to really attack in. Instead, they're trying to force the rotations, having Universe beating the tier 1 tower on bottom. FN's Invis Rune might help them turn this fight around, but then again, there's only one of them here. There's no other help. Resolution's farming up in the small triangle jungle of Empire.
You got a big stack there.
Bullseye. Bullseye. There's your boy. He hasn't finished the job. FN had to leave himself away. Universe gonna stay on the run. Trip trying to get in front of him as well. Because Splinter Blast on cooldown. Right now, there's never anything really bouncing off an FN with 8 1 charges. Decides it's not worth it. Zai, get the hell out of there. Base boots and around the trees. Under sub 100 HP. Night Stalker retreating from the fight.
There we go with the countering. So top tower goes to Ghostic. Still working on that Force Staff. He's halfway. Sumail will pick up the Veil here, so a lot of damage is now available for EG. Might want to look for a fight, but as was pointed out by Tomato, this Nyx Assassin is a dangerous matchup. When now that Roger gets his level 6, he's actually immediately going to TP bottom and use his Vendetta. He's going to look for a kill straight away on this Nation's Prophet, who, by the way, also has a bad matchup against Nyx.
But a perfect time to TP out. So
Great read.
bad matchup, easy if you have that mobility that comes from the TPs. Be it from his scroll or his natural ability. And he's going for Orchid first after the drums phase boots. So, looking for a straight up silence, who do you think is actually meant to focus on? Is it a Venoman to control?
It's good against multiple heroes in this game. I think targeted silences are very difficult to deal with for Nyx. They have Nightstalk and Orchid then, and even the Puck silence to work with. Orchid against Mirana is outstanding. And like you said, Venomancer, if they can prevent Venom from getting spells off in the fight, they've already come a long way in terms of having the advantage. So.
EG.
Next, smoke movement.
They're looking for resolution. They really want to kill in resolution. That dire Observe Ward has already revealed the fact that he's farming up the Ancients. So Puck will come in first. They need a quick silence on him. And, well, not actually happening. He'll get the Stormbolt onto the crit. And it may be enough damage. The Dreamfall actually grabbing Ghosting Wrath of Nature. Bouncing through from Nature's Prophet. Gave them a little extra damage and Universe the kill. But EG are happy with what they got. They get the hell out of there. Keep resolution down.
Key kill.
Roger. If he can get this done, he can synergize with that. Actually, FN doesn't have arrow. It's 3 seconds before it comes back off cooldown. But he's watching Zion very closely. Through the trees, the stun will connect. Here comes your arrow. It'll only be a 2 second stun. But 2 seconds may be enough. Stick charge available. Nightstalker cannot get up into the air and away.
Pretty unconventional build from Roger here, by the way. Well, maybe not so much, actually, but it looks like he went 2-1-2. I like this build a lot over the 3-1-1 just because of the Spike Carapace ability to set up your Impale. Maybe this is becoming more standard, but at least looking back over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot more focus on the Impale. But the second point Carapace makes that stun 1.2, and that is enough to get off the Impale. Against heroes like Puck, that's really important, because then you can coil, or you can Carapace the orb and then get your stun off guaranteed. It's also great against other heroes in this game, such as the Wyvern. Splinter Blast can target you, and then you can counterplay that way. There's many ways of using Carapace. It's actually going to max it out. It's going 2-1-3. This is when it's weird. Now it's really
Lost 0.6 seconds.
what he's looking for. Yep. Lower cooldown as well. It's
5 seconds lower.
This spell scales incredibly well. But so does Impale. And you know a lot of the time you want to have that damage. But this control of Carapace can definitely be very powerful.
Right now, again, he's looking for a target under the cover of Vendetta. Nothing really offering itself. There's resolution. I mean, still need that dire Observer Ward. They didn't realize that gank was because EG had vision. Until now, Sentry Ward gets planted down. But Boschka, even just putting it a little bit further north so he's able to check out the Ancient camp. The rest of Empire putting their attention towards the mid-tier 1. And support's coming in. Wyvern will arrive. Splinter Blast is a great deep pusher. Man doesn't want to stick around for that, so is the Orb. Very difficult to push into the EG towers when EG are prepared.
This Terrible Escape really fun. Arteezy's having a great start so far. Pretty much uncontested on 156 CS minute 14, so apparently at about 11 CS a minute, we'll get a 15-minute Manta style for his efforts. And I think in this game he also has a better core matchup. It's not perfect. I think there are problems. Again, Arm Sven can mess with Terrorblade quite well, and there's some decent AoE damage, but it doesn't feel like the last PL game, which just seems like semi-hopeless at times. Arteezy can definitely play a big game here. It's interesting to see that this is in some ways similar to what Liquid ended up doing on when they back were against the wall, where they had Miracle farm the troll for what seemed like an eternity, and then he really started carrying in that game. Maybe EG have decided to just adopt that style here.
It's going to be difficult for him. Like, farm him up, but Resolution's also taking that very greedy farm build again. Oh, it's like very greedy, like just more orientated towards an Echo Saber plus Master Madness. He's rinsing and repeating from game 1. It worked, but Arteezy definitely has a better start than game 1. And with the Observe Ward and Sentry down, they're trying to contest as much of the Ancients as possible.
I came in a little bit late, and Roger was also in a good position. You saw him use the Spike Carapace there in anticipation of the orb from Sumail. Didn't come out, however.
Sumail's now going to have to commit his orb to the mid lane to hold it off. Arteezy creates a couple of illusions, and then we'll look towards the bottom lane with Metamorphosis available. There should be a tier 2 tower to be taken. The trade-off is FN doing damage to the top tier 2 tower, getting space as well. Diane quickly scanning, wondering if anybody is coming in behind the mid lane. Not happening. The fortification is burnt, and this tier 2 tower is lost, and so is a lot of the access to Team Empire's jungle, losing both the towers on the bottom as well as the one in the mid.
Terribly looks so
Done.
terrible.
Roger, he just wanted to interfere with Arteezy's movement universe. Maybe he's able to get the control. Dice moving forward. There goes your first controller. He does have Invis, but the Spike Carapace can't complete the TP. However, 4 heroes from EG come in, and maybe now Arteezy He's getting a little bit longer with that metamorphosis, and the army of Triggers, they can push in heavier.
Stick it on
FNTV
yourself.
he's right there. The Ice Blast is a big radius, connects on 2 of the heroes. In fact, 3 with the chill on Arteezy. They're backing up. Spence coming in. Resolution. Universe going to try and block him down with the trees. Resolution will have to run around. Arteezy needs some distance, but we've still got that Sunder. Level up in a Valve. Looks to use it. Dropping Ghosting down low. Crit, he's got the curse up as well. So they have counter team fight. And they're approaching. Venomancer. Real issues. The Splinter Blast bounces through the arrow. And hits on the Crit. He's dying to the poison in the trees. But Samael jumped into the fight as well. Let the Dream Call go. Resolution FN. Lock him in the Ice Blast back up again. Samael has to evade the damage as long as he possibly can. He can't evade it for that long. FN already on top of him. So EG, some chip damage to the tier 3 tower, losing a couple of heroes. Is it worth it?
I don't think so. That looked like a good jump from Samael, but nobody was there to take advantage of the coil. Arteezy was already way out of there. The Wyvern had used his spells and got arrowed. And then you're looking at Night Stalker, doesn't really want a team fight, as we've talked about multiple times, not really a team fight hero. And they just probably already used his ulti, so it's cool and all that we go in with a pump like this, but where's the follow-up damage? It's just not there. And then Nyx Assassin Carapace. You know what? It sucks going up against this hero. It really sucks. But they chose it willingly. They knew that Nyx Assassin was in the pool and they grabbed it, and Empire were pretty quick to respond with this Nyx and Roger. He's been having a good game so far. But even though that didn't go too well for EG on the base siege, they still got the tier 2. Arteezy survived again. He's getting very farmed, but Rezo is once again, as you said, catching up. The Sven is actually only 400 network behind this Terrorblade now.
Yep. But the Terrorblade finally increases his attack range, finishing up the Dragonlance, and that is going to be the big thing. We understand Skadi comes in later for the Terrorblade, and you can start to kite this man. That will probably be the next thing we can look towards. How does Team Empire, with all of this net worth, actually turn that net worth into damage which is inflicted into EG? What are the problems they're going to have in the team fights?
There's a lot of things to keep in mind for both teams when they go into these fights.
Resolution, blink, stun, Ice Blast. Okay, that Ice Blast doesn't even arrive. Resolution, bit of God strength. With Monster Mass and Echo Saber, not a chance to survive for Crit.
This is one of those relatively unimportant kills. Crit gets killed, he tries to push out the wave, he gets jumped by 2 heroes, one of them uses, or they both use their ultimates, but there's no building damage.
They run towards
okay, maybe if it transitions into...
You still got the Gossip rank, he phase shifts, the arrow won't connect, the dust is over the next assassin, so they have to vision. Silence also returned, brought to the spike Carapace makes it impossible for Samael to get back down the hill as he hit him with that illusionary orb. And Arteezy's coming in, sending illusions to scatter around the northern side.
And they're going to open time, so... All right here for EG. Now the question is this going to be a repeat of game number 1? EG had a good early game, their lanes are going pretty well, they have the farm and a couple of heroes. This is when they need to come up big compared to the first game. But you look at the team fight of Empire and it just looks like taking fights for EG is going to be really difficult. They don't have the same kind of team fight prowess, so maybe what you're looking towards is combining your Night Stalker and Nature's Prophets and kills, but it just seems like they've fallen up a little bit. Their peak is early on into the game and those moves just didn't really exist for them.
You're still waiting for that big item to arrive for Nature's Prophet. Like, he has the Phase Boots and drums, but there was no increase of damage that comes from something like a Maelstrom. He's still trying to complete out that Orb of Malevolence. Now, this is an easier thing to find. The Venomancer actually being pushed forward. Dream Call cancelling his TP. And completely surrounded the north side. That was his own 4-star. Trying to get further away from the Night Stalker to do his TP, but into the arms of the rest of EG.
So we're going to Arteezy, so he takes first place on Network again. What else we got coming up? So Manta just got completed by the Nirvana just a minute ago. The Terrorblade is building its Lord Pipe. Yep. Soon we have both teams trying to build Solar Crest. Venomancer has the medallion. Zai is close to his medallion.
They found Maposhka, Ancient Apparition, on the run away from Zai. Extra support comes in. The Ice Blast is nice. Zai getting it completed. But they have enough life to survive. It is only a level 1 Ice Blast on the Ancient Apparition.
EG look like they're having a better time making moves. This Night Stalker is contributing a lot. Zai has set up 8 out of 9 kills for his team, constantly roaming around gathering information. Still without wings. What does it look like when he flies? Has he flown yet this game?
It looks...
It's like just flailing in the air, like flapping?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
It's when he realizes he didn't skip arm day, his arms just let him beat the wind into submission.
I feel like the hero should just look like this.
Just flip. He would be very less impressive with his Immortal. Spike Carapace stun, Crystal with the Winter Wyvern. Getting hit up by that Spike Carapace once more. Every time unless that shard's out, it's just too much of a chance that it's going to be reflected.
EG have done a very good job at not losing this mid tower. It's 21 minutes in. The top tower fell relatively early, but Empire haven't managed to take another structure just yet. Both towers for EG are low, so they will eventually be falling, but just delaying it this much has allowed Arteezy to get a lot of additional farm because they've kept the map control in their favor.
The same for
If
Universe.
they're looking for something bottom here, Reza would be a really big kill. He's hiding off to the sides, but Night Stalker will get eyes on him now.
Yeah.
Could try to surround him from both sides.
He doesn't have his BKB yet, putting the urn on him, going to make it difficult to get away. Here comes Universe, gives the extra vision, plus the Orc of Silence onto Sven. The damage will be more than enough. Resolution will fall, 50 seconds on the sideline. Image was chasing Nyx Assassin, turns on the Spike Carapace, Zai, fancy footwork, and now dusting up. Nyx Assassin TPing out, is there enough damage? There is when Samel arrives with the rift. And that is a big opening. You've actually got the push Metamorphosis up for a fair amount of time. The only thing which isn't working here for EG is the fact that Arteezy doesn't have a creep wave to push into the tier 3 tower to force a reaction from Empire.
He doesn't have any mana either, so he can't make any illusions anymore, and he's just gonna, be happy with what he got. I believe he did get the kill on the Sven, which is another big influx of gold for the Terrorblade, overtaking him by a lot at this point.
Got 305 gold for that kill.
Still, though, similar to game number 1, it's not Empire with one farm core. It's not just this Sven that you're looking out for. FN is having another great game. He's really farmed 10 CS a minute, similar network to that of the Sven, and they're both way ahead of the puck. So, a lot of pressure on this Terrorblade to deliver with all the space that Arteezy has been given. He needs to play a good game here later on, because when you look at their lineup, once again, the control of their lineup, the team fight is, I would say, inferior to that of Empire. So when push comes to shove and they need to go high ground, Arteezy needs to be big and he needs to not be out of position.
Well, here's the danger zone. We always said it was around the 25 to 20 minute mark for Evil Geniuses. We're smack bang form in the middle of that. And Empire smoking up. They were looking towards something. Originally, I think it was a gank on mid, but they turned their attention towards the Roche Pit. No easy way for EG to scout it out right now, because Universe doesn't have any trees in the neighborhood. The Moonlight Shadow is being cast, and they are fine. Team Empire, they will take for a shot, not to mention EG Smoke. It just got broken. Roger is here into the cover. Oh, Shadow gets a double stop into the double life block. This is exactly what EG didn't want. Samael is trapped. Where's the save? He blinks up on John. You're second protecting him. You're John up Samael. He will survive and escape from Team Empire. But the damage is done. Roshan is still in the hands of Team Empire. Aegis the Immortal belongs to FN.
Very nice play from both sides in that situation. Roger setting up the beautiful two-hero stun, and Samael quick under pressure to get out of that situation. Needed to cast his spells in that exact sequence, in that exact way to get out of that. Does manage to survive. Still, as you said, the Aegis does go the way of Empire. And this is one of the benefits you have of Nyx Assassin, it's just that when you go for a play like that, you feel comfortable. They didn't seem to hesitate for a moment there, Empire. They're just running to the pit, Nyx is scouting outside, okay, they're not coming here, we feel like, okay, they're not going to contest, and they just take it 100 to 0 with no flinching at all.
Yeah. It's also interesting too, the fact that EG, they did smoke up, the smoke broke, but there was no instant detection. There's allowed the Nyx Assassin to set up for that double stun.
Wait, that way.
Yeah, Night Stalker actually had dust on him, but I think Zai was confident that first of all, maybe that Nyx broke their smoke, and secondly, where he was at that point in time. He's got eyes on Zai. This is dead. Night Stalker, Toby. They're dead.
Ice Blast, Storm Bolt, and it is easy as slice.
He could have tried to fly, but two problems with that. It was daytime, and he lost his wings this patch. So, what are you going to do?
I said you having real issues with this. Universe doing universe things, pushing down towards the bottom lane. With a Splitter Blast, yeah, go by your Scepter.
Okay.
Crit, he's actually helping with the Splitter Blast. So Universe actually get some good momentum into the tier 3 tower. The trade-off is still Empire taking the mid-tier 2. But you can definitely see the idea here. Oh wow, that TP, are you going to complete that one? So Mail's coming in, the Yule Scepter, something getting out there. They got that gem of True Sight over on the block, but Samael, as quickly as he got it, he will lose it. It's now in the hands of Nyx Assassin, Evil Geniuses. 25 minutes. This is the dead zone for EG.
This is really bad news. Samael, it seemed like a little bit of disconnecting what they wanted to do. So Nature's Prophet had that good push going on bottom, but he didn't dare to go for the high ground push. And then at the same time, Samael is coming in trying to stop these TPs, but stopping those TPs is nice, but doesn't have that big of an impact when you already gave up on the push on the bottom lane. And now
so that was
That That Observer Ward on the bottom, it saw the fact that our TT wasn't in position, but our Splitter Blast, they can keep their creep wave alive long enough. And the fact there's no puck, there's no Dream Call. The two
Wait,
counter pushes from
52
EG
plus
to protect the high ground.
12.
The attack damage of the
That's
tower is
right.
on 1 HP. But your illusion attack, and that'll do the work.
Oh,
The
day.
catapult finishes the job.
2 hours
And
and
TP's out. Resolution will be
4
happy.
minutes?
For
Yeah,
Boschka,
it's 2
the
hours
boy,
and
it'll
4 minutes.
cancel off his
Which is
TP as
stupidly
Zayt hits
slow
the
and
ground and kills off
he
the
doesn't know.
apparition.
Wow, he has 3 starts as well. Oh,